Those unused slots now get transferred to eligible workers. Recruiters hope that some of the extras can be snapped up by nurses for short-staffed hospitals looking to hire. I'm Jennifer King.
The French president and the German chancellor will head to Moscow and Kiev in the coming weeks, adding to diplomatic efforts to resolve the ongoing crisis over Ukraine. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes.
A little chilly, but it's Friday nonetheless.
It is 7 degrees outside, or at least it was when I came in this morning.
Well, at least it's going to feel warmer today.
5? It's 5 now.
5 now, it's 10.
Oh.
We're up into doubles.
Let's see what my weather service highs right now.
Downright.
Yeah, I'm up to 10.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah, we were at 7 when I was coming in this morning.
Ah.
It was to the point where there wasn't even frost on the car. It was just like crystallized ice pieces.
The ice is like, it's too cold to be out.
It's too cold for us to form into one sheet. We're all in this for ourselves.
Yeah. So
it's time to form ice spears.
Good news is we're supposed to get to like 40s today.
Ooh.
42. And we may see 50 tomorrow.
That's downright summery.
Yeah. So,
grab yourself a picnic blanket.
Glass half full.
That's right.
I apologize for the radio. I think it's Westwood One having the issue. Like there's some kind of time off. Like it was messing with the brakes during Hewitt.
Right.
It's starting our news late. Triggered off my morning show early, so it's not.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it because it's like their internal clock is 30 seconds off.
Oh.
And it's not on our end. Ours right. I think Westwood One on their end's having an issue.
Oh.
And so I apologize.
Curious to see how much longer that goes on.
Well, if you that's
going to mess up our top hour news.
It's going to impact us.
Everything, actually, all our business stuff and everything.
So at 8 o'clock, if I say "in time for news" and there's nothing there, then you know there's still a problem. I gotta vamp for 30 seconds till it magical. But the thing is, I don't know the exact time. So when you gotta nail something on the post, but you don't know when the post is going to start.
Oh, it sucks.
It's it's
a real skill. Matter of fact, have you ever done that? You ever done the front sell or the
I played that game before. Yeah.
That's a fun one.
It is. Yeah. Basically, what it is DJs queue up a song, and every song has intro music. Usually, I mean, not everyone. Some songs go right into singing, but usually there's a good 20, 30, maybe even a minute worth of music leading up to the vocals. And so DJs back in the day, when they were on the radio, that's when they used that time to.
We like to do this thing where we really mess up your mixtapes.
Yes.
Just talk all over the song.
And it's always stuff like, hey, on the queue, don't forget we got Beach Fest 22
Stay
coming
tuned
up this Saturday.
Stay tuned for Traffic on the 7s.
Yeah. Here's Phil Collins. And then he goes.
Friday morning fart joke coming your way.
Yeah, and then he goes right into the.
And then the point is, if you can stop talking the second the singing starts, that's called hitting the post.
Yes.
And so DJs, it's one of those like. if you ever watch the super satisfying videos on YouTube, it's very much in that vein of there's not much in radio more satisfying than hitting the post perfectly.
Yeah, it's kind of a little...
Especially when you do it accidentally or like on a song, on a cold song that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah. Nowadays, computers and stuff allow people to cheat on that.
Yeah.
Like in theory.
Shut up.
Theory.
You're killing the business.
Yeah, I'm pulling back the magic.
That's right.
Sorry. Now we have an automation system, and it's got computers and timers, and it plays the intro right. And
They give us a certain amount of talk over time.
Yeah, and there's like a flashing thing. It says, it's got 4, 3, and then it's going to start going.
That works.
It's cheating now.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, if
they put the data in right.
That's true. Absolutely. But if you work in in MacGyver country radio, where sometimes you got to throw some stuff off of Spotify, you never know what you're going to hear.
This is true.
You got to roll the dice, and maybe you get an 8-second intro, maybe you get a 4-second intro, and if you hit it,
and plus now they can voice track a lot, which means the computers and everything do your
it'll auto sync it for you,
hitting your own posts and everything else. So, but anyway, that was back in the day when DJs played records and all that stuff. They had to
spinning
do
wax.
Yeah, but
head to the bathroom. Here's Iron Butterfly.
But I'm pre-apologize now in case our newses are a little goofy because I don't till Westwood One figures out what they're doing. We're going to be victim to that.
Yeah, things are going to be a little wonky.
Yeah. Good news is it's all good. Those problems don't matter because it's a McDonald's Friday. We got a little McDonald's to wash down our problems this morning here with the technicalities.
That's right. And today, actually all this week, they've been really harping the hack menu.
Yeah. They've got... So what they're doing is... now, here's the rub. Because... I've watched the commercials. Have you seen the TV commercials for the hack menu stuff?
I actually haven't seen the commercials.
I've seen they've got a couple of them here, and they're very specific on the way they tell it to you. And this is why people get mad, including our very own.
Well, no. I mean, it's they do it for a reason.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Right.
That there's a reason. Like, they're not giving you... Like, they're going to give you the ingredients to make the hack sandwich. You still have to hack it yourself.
Because there's something that feels good about you breaking the matrix that is their sandwich and you forming it into something else yourself.
Yeah.
It's like they're putting creativity in your hands.
Yeah. Like if you want the nuggets on top or the bottom of your Lancey and air sandwich, or which is that one on that one?
That was the double crunch.
Yeah, see, I can't. Yeah, that's the double crunch.
Yes, there's four.
I don't have the different variations.
The hash brown McMuffin is a sausage McMuffin with a hash brown, and you just and that really does give you the creativity. They recommend that you slide it on the bottom.
Okay,
but at least that's what the picture would entail. But it's really just dealer's choice. The second option, or the rest of them are lunch options. So the double crunch is a double cheeseburger with 6 chicken nuggets and then a barbecue sauce. You just smother the barbecue sauce over the nuggets. On the bottom of the sandwich is where they recommend it.
Okay.
Last night for dinner, I had the surf and turf, which is the double cheeseburger with the fish.
Yes.
I've got to tell you, the secret there is that steamed bun.
So the
filet of fish bun.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, that thing. And I was actually had a chance to compare the difference. It's softer. It's more just like malleable. So if you make that the middle bun of the two, and it kind of like it marries like this, which I know that doesn't make sense to anybody who's not watching the video feed, but like 1/3 of the sandwich marries to the 2/3 of the other.
Okay.
And it's a big bite. I got to tell you, it's hard to wrap your mouth around.
Well, yeah.
It was satisfying.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, because the Lancey Air looks the tallest.
That seems insurmountable to me.
Yeah, that's
as far as like my mouth.
Yeah, that one looks like it's because it's Big Mac.
Yeah,
with
a Big
chicken.
Mac with a McChicken and a filet of fish.
Yeah, that's a lot between the one bite's worth of bread there.
I think you ditch one of the buns, but yeah, other than that, it's all the other ingredients.
Yeah. So anyway, but they're doing that right now, and you can do the hacks through the app or drive-through or whatever. But they're going to give you the sandwiches, and then you got to build it.
Yeah.
But do they give you the instructions with sandwich?
You can look them up. They have it on the app.
Okay.
Like especially on and matter of fact, the double crunch is you can only order that through the app. Well, I mean,
you can get it through the drive-through because I saw yesterday.
Because they were saying that you could only get that one through the app.
That one was available through drive-through.
Okay,
yes. Yeah.
Cool. Because you could just order a double cheeseburger and a 6-piece. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, you build it yourself, but But they'll tell you what to order.
Yeah.
You say I want the double crisp,
The double crunch, yeah.
crunch, and then they give you the sandwiches and whatever you need, and then you go home and build it.
Now I got to tell you, I've never in my life that I can think of. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been to buffets before, but I don't think ever in my entire life I've had beef and fish in my mouth at the same time. What it takes a good bite to wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
Like at first, it's just like, this doesn't seem right. That second bite, you're like, okay, all right. Things are starting to kind of mesh a little bit.
I feel like I've gone to like a Chinese food buffet and done that. Like, not even on purpose per se, but you just
have it
your
on the
beef
same
and
plate.
broccoli, and then you got your fish whatever meal, and then you gotta get them together there. I've done that.
And maybe I honestly can't think of a time when I've had, especially not ground beef and a fillet of fish.
But then again, too, you also get the seasonings with which
and that was another thing. You wouldn't think that tartar sauce would work with ketchup and mustard of the double cheeseburger, and like the slivered onions with the onions, all that mixed together.
Yeah,
works remarkably well.
It's interesting.
It was such an odd experience at first, and then once you kind of wrap your head around what you're eating, I cleaned the box, finished the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now these are just ones that have these hacks that they're
they've been tested. These are ones that they pulled off the internet.
Yeah,
fans have submitted.
These are originally patron based, and then they put their mojo and kind of confirmed, yes, this is a good thing. We're going to put it on our menu for a limited time. That being said, I'm sure there's way more combinations of said sandwiches that maybe if this is a hit, that may kind of like when they do Monopoly or when they do like their little annual deals. Maybe they'll make it's hack season and they'll come up with 3 more sandwiches.
That's the thing. There's lots of other hacks. I mean, I've seen plenty of McDonald's hacks that exist out there. I mean, if you look at the menu, you could just take we've brought up several of them. You could just take the hotcakes and sausage, throw some green chili on top.
Yeah. By the way, green chili and anything with McDonald's is turning out to be a winner. I have yet to find one thing I haven't put that on. Oh, Sean, by the way. I'll tell you later. I don't want to mix. I don't want to mix restaurants right now.
Fair enough.
But I had my La Gran Victoria salsa, homemade salsa. I bought some.
Yeah.
I had some. What's today? Friday, like Wednesday. It lit me up.
Yeah.
It is hot.
All right.
Oh, it's tasty, but it's straight fire. I opened up the jar, the mason jar, and just stuck my nose right to it and took a big old whiff. It burnt hair. Like I was like, it burnt nose. Now, I mean, I smelled, ooh, this gonna be fire, and I was not wrong. I put a spoonful on an omelet, and I was crying. I had sweat coming out of places I didn't know I had still.
That's impressive.
It was warm. It's tasty, but it was warm.
I'm a man who enjoys a nice hot salsa, so I'd be curious to see how it.
I can accommodate because I've got a giant jar, and it's going to take me 8 years to get through this thing. Because there's so much heat in there.
Dang. Well, all right.
But it's tasty.
I'm curious because
little goes a long way. I'm just saying.
I've gone far and wide. Actually, one of the things my girlfriend gifted me with around Christmas time was a box of 30 different like hot sauces, like little samples. So I've been trying like all those. I think I'm up to like Tahiti now.
Okay.
It's kind of just working my way around the world. The Chinese sauces were a little weird. It's a different kind of chili they play with.
It's like the Epcot Center of sauces.
It is. It's kind of nice. Spin the wheel and see what part of the country, what part of the world I land in tonight.
Here comes Matterhorn.
Hey, we're going to Morocco, huh?
Let me give you the rundown for the show
Yes.
today. I think our guest is here. I haven't been able to confirm. But we got Leslie Anderson, I believe, will be joining us from All Saints Catholic School here in just a little bit. They've got their open house event happening tomorrow, and then they've got their annual Mardi Gras event coming up later on this month on February 26th. So we're going to talk all about those events. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, County Commissioner Will Cavan will join us, and we'll chit-chat with him for a little bit. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we may be double folding it. Jim Tucker, Skywarn Weather Coordinator for Chaves County, going to join us, talk about some stuff. We might also have Molly Boyles with Main Street Roswell join us too as well. We'll get them both in that hour if they do come by. But I know Jim will be here, and we may have the folks from Main Street as well. But if we do, we'll get them all along. If just one shows, then we'll act accordingly. But plus we'll have all of your features that include local news, national news, town hall business, all that good stuff. And it may be 30 seconds late. It will depend, see if Westwood gets it all done there. But again, big thank you to McDonald's. Swing by any of your McDonald's, download the apps, utilize them. You find free stuff, special deals exclusively through the app. And don't forget, they've got their hack menu going on. Try some new things in different ways through the hack menu. You're always like, I love the double cheeseburger. Well, try it mixed with some chicken nuggets, maybe. That's what they got going on and put it together. It's kind of what we do on the show, but now they're bringing it to the masses. All right, it is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still cool today with high pressure moving back into eastern New Mexico. We should have plenty of sunshine. Our afternoon high should be around 40 and a little bit breezy. Cold overnight will drop into the low teens with clear skies and then a little bit warmer on Saturday. Lots of sun and our afternoon high around 50. We're in the low 50s with fair weather on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 10 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. We are going to get a little warmer today than yesterday and things. We'll hit the 40s according to National Weather Service. Sunny skies, 42 for a high today. But with the wind chill values as low as -2. So, yeah. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of your current temp right now, 10, with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, we're going to maybe get into the 50s. They're saying sunny, 51 for a high tomorrow, with south winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low at 21, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunny, high of 52 on Sunday. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, sunny, highs mid-50s, 54 there. All right, it is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a 2-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk All Saints Catholic School on the other side, talk about their open house event tomorrow, and Mardi Gras happening on February 26th. That's coming up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, I'm Dennis Kintai, Mayor of Roswell. Since becoming mayor in 2014, we've accomplished a lot. We've cleaned out numerous derelict structures that spoil our neighborhoods. We've constructed a state-of-the-art aquatic center. We have built 2 new splash pads in city parks for families to enjoy. We have invested over $25 million to revitalize our air center. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the city of Roswell has stayed open and free while we work to ensure everyone's safety. Today, we are under attack from those trying to impose Santa Fe values on our way of life. I will always fight to keep Roswell values front and center. We've done a lot, but there's more to be done. I'm asking you to vote to keep me, Dennis Kintai, as your mayor on March 1st. Together, we can keep Roswell free. This is Dennis Kintai, and I approve of this ad.
Time to double up and save at Roswell Honda.
Double your refund.
That's right. Roswell Honda wants to double up your tax refund up to $4,000 towards your next vehicle. And with clearance prices across the lot, you can walk in, double up, and drive away today in a 2014 Yukon for just $379 a month, a 2014 Civic for just $249 a month, or a 2017 Escape for just $199 a month. 0 down, no payments for 4 months, free AirPods with a test drive, and double your refund.
Time to double up.
On now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from All Saints Catholic School, Leslie Anderson with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you doing today?
I am doing quite well, just great. How
Staying
about
warm?
yourself? Yeah, definitely trying to, yeah.
Hopefully, no heater-related issues or anything at the school. Everything working as advertised during the storm?
Everything's working just fine.
Good,
yeah.
yeah. Because that's when you find out real quick when you got a heating problem or something, is when things like this happen.
Yeah.
And pipe bursts or something like that happens.
Oh, yeah, when Murphy's Law kicks in.
Absolutely.
But we've been very fortunate, thankfully enough.
Good. Lord's looking out.
Yes. Somebody up there loves us. Yeah.
Very good. Well, before we talk about open house and Mardi Gras, let's just kind of give a little bit of background. Talk about All Saints Catholic School and just tell folks what the school's all about.
Okay, well, All Saints has been, it's been around for a little over a couple of decades now, and we started out with preschool and kindergarten, built in a first grade, and then as we built the new building. Well, I mean, I say new, but it's getting up there in age now, but still in good shape.
In terms
definitely.
of other things, it's pretty new.
Yeah. But yeah, once that building came up, I mean, it just kind of flourished from there. So added on a couple of grade levels here and there. So now we're serving preschool 3-year-old up to 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, so we also have middle school, which is a lot of fun, and of course they're doing some super exciting things in there as well.
Yeah, of course you got that beautiful campus there, like you were talking about the buildings there.
Yes, it's wonderful.
I'm sure most folks have probably driven by it at some point or another. If you've ever been by the hospital in that area over in there, what's the actual address there? It's what, Kentucky and. Was that Mescalero? I can't remember the
it's 2700 North Kentucky.
Okay, very good.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of right on the corner there, but really it kind of stretches down through Kentucky there. So
Yeah. So really with the school itself, it's right before you get to the residential area, and then of course you hit the hospital.
Yeah. I actually could walk to it from where I live. It's right in my neighborhood there. So
right.
But it's a beautiful little school there, a campus there, obviously the church, and then the school there. And I just from what I've seen, it's a great atmosphere with the kids, and there always seems to be something going on over there. You constantly go by, and there's a bunch of cars in the parking lot with events and things happening. So it sounds like it's a great little community there at All Saints.
Yeah, right when you walk in, I always tell folks, because I've picked this up myself, right when you walk in, I don't know how to explain it other than you just feel this comforting presence of the Lord.
There you go.
And, of course, that energy is contagious with the children being busy and, with everything that the teachers are coming up with.
Yeah.
And we have a very amazing creative staff, very amazing faculty. They try to incorporate a lot of hands-on activities, a lot of, we've actually built in some STEM this year.
Great.
We've had a wonderful volunteer. Her name is Peggy Bolin. Most folks know her from Camp Invention.
Yeah, or hanging out the library. Yeah, she does a lot of STEM-related things at the library, too.
Right, yeah. And, of course, I'm thinking of the Astronomers Club as well. She has her hand in so many things.
She's very busy, yes.
Right. So, yeah, she's added All Saints to her list as well. So every week she goes in there, and with all the grade levels, she does a STEM activity, and the kids are just really enjoying that, learning a lot from it.
Great.
And of course, she's incorporating other STEM-related, science-related into our curriculum.
I know she kind of has a passion for like the rocket science and rocketry stuff. Does she work in some of that in there too?
Yes.
That's great. She's a great asset to our community. But now here's something. If folks are like, that sounds pretty cool, I'd like to check it out. Well, guess what? You just so happen to have an opportunity coming up. I gave everybody bad information earlier. It's actually this Sunday. It's not tomorrow.
February 6th.
Yeah,
right.
All Saints Catholic School will be having an open house on Sunday. Sounds like if you're looking for a church home, come on out for church, and then maybe be a part of the school open house as well if you want to.
Right. Yeah. We actually thought about it, and open houses do fairly well in the evenings. Some we've had during the day, but of course most people work.
Sure.
So we scheduled ours for February 6th, Sunday, at 12 p.m. over at the school. So maybe on your way to your lunch destination or something, you could hop on by at 12 noon, February 6th.
Absolutely.
And the faculty will be available, and we'll be there to answer questions. We'll have enrollment packets available.
Okay.
And
probably doing some tours and things like that.
Yeah, some tours, and definitely some information on our preschool. We're actually starting something new this coming school year, and we'll be offering all-day pre-K, all day.
Excellent.
Yeah, from 8 till 3. So the little guys will be a lot less rushed, I think, with their curriculum. So they'll be able to do all of their ABCs, mathematical exercises.
Not to mention, too, I mean, yes, we talk about the getting exposed to as much education at a young age. There's enough science out there to tell you the younger you're working with children, the more likely they're going to be doing well and absorb this stuff. And, that's why they're learning, talking about, teaching kids like foreign language and stuff instead of waiting to high school. They should be teaching them, like in elementary school to this stuff. But anyway, it's great to see that, you're starting that early. But also on top of that, too, is now these young kids are getting exposed to the group activity stuff and the dynamic of working with others and working in team concepts and things that we as parents, unless you got 3 or 4 siblings, it's really hard to teach those kind of things. And so they get exposed to that kind of stuff at a younger age, too, which is all beneficial for children.
Right. So our pre-K starts at 3, and actually Mrs. Vera, our pre-K teacher, we have Mrs. Vera and Mrs. Chapman, who are our wonderful pre-K teachers, and she sent me some information yesterday, a little bit about what you were just talking about. So primarily they do learn through play, through those group activities. And of course at age 3, that's the very beginning. That's the first step.
Sure.
So you have all kinds of things going on there. You have counting, you have social skills, you have, cognitive development, the team building. And also they really reinforce the concept of helping out at home, which I'm sure parents really love. It supports what they're doing at home as well.
Yeah, you're trying to get them chores, and the school's like, yeah, you should do chores.
Yeah, and the neat thing about it, they always make it fun.
Sure.
I mean, at times I've walked past there. It's like magic going on in that room. That excitement is just contagious, and they are having a great time, but learning quite a bit as well. And they also build in a lot of hands-on activities. So what's really going to be neat about the all day is, you have, the learning activities in the morning. And there'll be more room for that individualized instruction where you could take more time out. And then say in the afternoon, once they've had their lunch, their nap time, because when they're little, they still need that nap.
I'm an adult, and I'm kind of wishing we could work nap time after lunch.
Tell me about it.
Like, that should just be standard from children to the time we leave this earth. I'm sorry.
I hear you there, Mike. I mean, at my age, I tend to feel it as well.
Yeah.
So after that, they'll build in some art activities. So they're painting with watercolors, they're drawing with art chalk, using markers, using all kinds of different media for art and
getting a chance to express themselves and and we all know I think as we get older we kind of lose some of our creativity and some of that magic that kids just have when it comes to using their imaginations and creation. So to give them just say here's the tools and go go use your imagination, that's so important at that age and things like that too. So they get you get. And let's be honest, when we look at, and I'm not trying to do a critique on public education or anything, but it seems like in the world today, public education is getting farther away from some of the things. Like when we grew up and went to school, there was always an art class, a music class,
right,
PE, and things like that, and that is starting to disappear. in the regular curriculum. And I'm sorry, I think you need all those ingredients. It's like you want a great chocolate cake, you got to make sure you got the sugar, if you try to pull one of those ingredients out, the cake's not going to be as good. And it's no different here. But when you're educating kids, you need the math, the science, and the reading, and all of that stuff. But you also need the arts, the humanity sides. You're only half training a child if you don't expose them to all that stuff. You want, as you're developing the kid, you want to enhance the creative side. You want to enhance the logical side, and you want to kind of, hopefully, at the end of the day, get away where you're kind of marrying it, and they got the best of both worlds there a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And luckily, we've managed to be able to build in the best of both worlds as well, and to prepare them whenever they go beyond middle school onto that great world of high school.
Absolutely.
So yeah, they've had that chance from the time they're in preschool, and we've had students who've been there since they were 3 years old and getting ready to move on to the next step, beyond 8th grade.
And I would imagine, and I don't know stats or nothing, but just a guess, I'm willing to bet the kids that come through All Saints Catholic School, they probably, their test scores and things as they're going on to higher education and next levels of education, they're probably doing better than their other classmates. So, I mean, overall, too, just because of the things they're exposed to, the uniqueness and personal attention that you can do at a place like All Saints Catholic School that you can't necessarily do in a public school.
Right.
And so that extra factor there, I think almost gives the kids that come through All Saints probably a little bit of an edge there, a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Having that extra one-on-one makes a huge difference. We have a pretty good student-teacher ratio where we have small classes at all grade levels. So the teacher is able to get to each and every person to see, what makes them tick as far as the learning process goes. And we're also very blessed. We have volunteers who help out the teachers as well during the day. We have a couple of volunteers that they go in and, while the teacher's doing one thing, the helper's doing another. So it's wonderful.
A lot of adult representation in there and getting, so it's plenty of hands-on with the kids, because there's a lot of between your volunteers and your paid staff and everybody that's part of it, there's a lot of adults involved in the education of the kids at the school. So
and we definitely welcome, embrace parent involvement. Definitely, I mean, parents, guardians have a say-so in what goes on.
They're your children.
The teachers are available. Our principal, Mr. Shane, is available. So it's just really a good family environment. That's another way I would describe it. It feels more like a family, really.
I understand what you're saying. It's very personal, very everyone's looking out for each other, and everyone's invested in each other, and that kind of shows in the day-to-day at the school there.
Right.
Very good. So so to give the folks because we got to talk about Mardi Gras. We haven't even got there yet.
But
don't
definitely
forget, if you'd like to come and hear more and see more about what we're talking about here, this Sunday beginning at 12 noon, All Saints Catholic School will be having an open house. If you'd like to come early, what time's the church services start on Sunday?
I was going to say, we got 3 different parishes that we...
but if you say you want to come to church and then maybe go to the open house afterwards.
Yeah, the one that's nearby is Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Catholic Community, which is on Mescalero in Kentucky. Okay. They have an 11 a.m. Mass, 11 a.m.
Okay.
So you could just walk on over, actually, across the parking lot, or it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Right, yeah. I see a bunch of cars there. You can just kind of mingle with the cars and meander, and then really walk right over afterwards.
Right. Yeah, before, if you head out early enough, before you hit the 12 p.m. at St. John, you could stop by the school and get some information, pick up a packet, and...
Put it this way, we'll work the church schedule out if you need to, get in there. But like I said, it begins noon. What time are you planning on wrapping up the open house if people can't make it right at noon?
I would say, give or take, probably about 1:30 or 2.
Okay.
Because we We tend to stay and mingle for quite a while.
So if it's like 12:31, you're like, I hope they're still there. Come on by.
We're there.
And
yes.
they're going to be there hanging out. Maybe they'll have a cup of coffee with you, and then you go do an open house or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It'll be 50s. It's still cup of coffee weather.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking by noon you might want something cold, but never mind.
It's still cold out there.
But now we want to put your party hats on, because one of the big, and this is probably your largest fundraiser for the year, isn't it? Or at least the most public fundraising event that All Saints Catholic School does. We're coming up once again for this year. It's the 27th annual Mardi Gras Gala and Dinner event that's hosted by All Saints Catholic School. Like I said, 27th. Has it been doing for 27 years now, I guess, or is it? Is that consistent? I'm guessing. I don't know. Someone's probably got the history if they ever had to skip a year or two.
27 years, as far as I know.
That's great.
Yeah.
So rather than have me explain it, I'll let you kind of talk about the fun that's going on. I mean, there's some traditions, obviously, with Mardi Gras. There's a lot of traditions there, but people have a lot of fun with the cakes, the baby cake, all that stuff. Oh, my
goodness, yes.
Is part of this. But tell folks what you guys have planned for the Mardi Gras Gala.
Okay, so Mardi Gras will be taking place Saturday, February 26th, and we're returning to St. Peter's Gym for our venue. Yeah, we're very grateful for them to be able to host us over there.
Well, it's all a big community, and everyone works together on this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, February 26th. The doors open at 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
And dinner is being served, as far as I know, buffet style at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And the event goes until 11. So yeah, we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful Cajun American cuisine provided by Peppers.
Great. Well, of course, it is Mardi Gras. We're down New Orleans. Mm-hmm. That's the theme and everything. So yeah, you got to go a little Cajun when you go with
a little bit of spice there.
Yeah, maybe a little Creole cooking in there. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And of course, Peppers always does a great job with the dinner.
Peppers nails everything. And I wouldn't be surprised if Peppers, slip a little green chili in something. I know it's Cajun, but we are in New Mexico.
There is a little hint New Mexico.
Yeah, you got to do it and everything. Well, I mean, they do such great New Mexico cuisine over at Peppers there, so you got to put your stamp on there a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, the wonderful thing about the dinner buffet that I've remembered in years past, there's always something for everybody, something for every taste.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're going away hungry at this event, it's kind of your fault.
Yeah, you didn't get up quick enough, I think.
That was on you, not
didn't
them.
hit that line fast enough. Yeah, so dinner starts at 7 p.m. And also we're going to have a dance, and music is provided by Louis Nahar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen his stuff and his shows and performances around town.
Well, it's great. He does a little of everything. Mm-hmm. So, a little bit of rock, a little bit of country, some Spanish in there. And it's just really a great time.
So when he's playing your songs, you can get out on the dance floor. When he's playing someone else's songs, you go eat.
It's perfect. Yeah, you could eat or sit and have
or mingle or or help. They got some other events we're going to tell you about too that's going on during the event too.
Yeah. So also we'll have photography provided by Ed and Kathy Cook. So if you and your date or you and your group want to take a picture there, have a lasting memory. So.
And they usually got little accoutrement and things to make the photo fun and Mardi Gras feel to it.
Yeah, they have a neat background set up. And then, of course, you got the beads and the masks, whatever you want to throw in there. Lots of beads to go around, lots of masks. It's just really, really festive.
Yeah.
And we have our silent auction. Now, I haven't really gotten details yet as far as what we're auctioning off.
Okay.
So you would just have to show up to see what we have going there. But I will tell you right now, part of our silent auction involves projects. We also auction off some projects that each of the classes have made.
Oh, okay.
And that's always a lively competition right there. where, you have grandparents who are trying to arm wrestle
absolutely. Yeah,
to get the...
Basically, you've got a kid's family keepsake, and now you got the parents all bidding to try to get their hands on it.
Yeah.
And it's all in good fun, but at the end of the day, it's to raise money so the programs and the things at the school can continue there. So.
Right. Yeah. Our funds go towards our scholarships. So we're able to help with the cost of providing a solid education for your child.
Which, by the way, and these are questions you can ask at the open house. Finances and everything. If you're like, and that's just it.
Yes.
We'll figure out the finances. If you have a desire to come here and get your great education for your child, the rest we'll figure out.
Yes.
And like you said, events like this help to ensure that we make this, expose this to as many people that want that opportunity.
Yes, there is financial help available. And kind of swinging back real quick, like I forgot to mention something with all-day pre-K. We do accept the CYFD assistance.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so if you're considering our preschool at All Saints, feel free to get the paperwork from the CYFD office, get that filled out and taken care of, because we do accept those stipends.
Excellent. Very good.
Right.
So take advantage of all of that. That's why they're there, is for you to utilize. And any resource we can use to help a child in this community, let's take full advantage of it. So very good. Sorry, we got sidetracked on what was going on at Mardi Gras.
It's fine. Yeah, it all ties in, since Mardi Gras goes towards our financial help. So tickets are $60 per person. And also we have table sponsorships available. So if you want to bring a group of your coworkers, your family,
if you're a business,
whoever,
or you want to treat your employees to a night at Mardi Gras, maybe buy a table for them and let them come and enjoy an evening of food and festivities.
Yeah, and this is, I'm looking at the pricing here. This is definitely a bargain. So you have the silver, which is $500. You get 8 tickets.
Okay.
And dinner, of course, and a table nameplate and a listing on the evening program.
Okay.
So your business is listed on our program as a special thank you. Also, we have the gold, which is for $600, 8 tickets. And 8 tickets for the King's Cake.
Which we'll get to in a minute here. We'll explain the King's Cake.
Oh, that's always a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of super delicious fun, definitely. Yeah. 8 tickets for the King's Cake, and then you get 8 sets of Mardi Gras beads. So you'll be all set with your beads, your memory keepsakes, and
you'll be officially indoctrinated and ready for Mardi Gras celebrating.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, New Orleans will have nothing on us, I'm sure, once it's all said and done.
That's right.
And also we have the table nameplate. So you know right away where your space is going to be at. Your listing on the evening program, plus your company's logo will be displayed on the announcement projector. So we'll have and a thank you banner as well with your logo. So if you really want to get your name out there and get a group of your colleagues together to have a great time, have some King's Cake as well, go for the gold. And then we have 1 platinum level.
Okay.
1 available, and that's for $1,000. And this one is like a first come, first serve. So, whoever reserves that, once it's gone, it's gone.
But you get treated, part of the pun, like a king.
Yes. Yeah. This one, you get 10 tickets, 10 tickets at the entrance, 10 tickets for the King's Cake, and 10 sets of Mardi Gras beads. And in addition to the table nameplate and your name on the announcement projector with the thank you banner with your logo, the group will be announced just prior to the meal. So we'll also have the DJ announcing a special thank you right before, we all settle down to eat.
Yeah.
That's the platinum.
Good deal.
So any one of those, it's a real bargain because, for 8 tickets, $500 or even the $1,000.
Yeah.
Plus, this is tax deductible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And since we're in tax season, I'm sure a lot of people probably like, especially if they're looking at their tax now, man, I didn't donate enough last year. I should have donated. Well, here's your chance to make right this year.
This is your jump start.
Real quick, if you're interested in being a sponsor, what's the best way to reach out to you guys to get that secured?
Okay, best thing to do for that is to go ahead and call the school. And that number is 627-5744.
Okay.
Yeah, 627-5744.
And of course, All Saints Catholic School does have a Facebook page. So if you're driving and don't remember that number, if you shoot a message on their Facebook page saying, "Hey, I'm interested in being a sponsor, platinum, whatever," can you get it back? And someone will get back to you pretty quick.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do the admin on their Facebook page.
Okay.
So if you send a direct message, I will get back to you same day.
Very good.
I am checking that thing like 3-4 times a day. Working from home, I get that luxury to be able
Good
to
deal. And
consistently.
technology kind of lets you do it wherever you're at now. So.
Right. Oh, yeah. And speaking of technology, you can also purchase your tickets online.
Okay.
We're working on the sponsorships, but
If I
as
remember
far as
right-
individual tickets, yeah, you could purchase that by
Excellent.
direct link.
Which, if you go again to the All Saints Catholic School Facebook page,
yes,
you'll find the event page for this. You click that, and it's got a direct link to order those tickets and
It
everything.
has a
there.
direct link, yeah.
It's
It'll
got a
take
lot
you-
of letters and dashes that way. It's just go there rather than me try to regurgitate that.
Oh yeah,
that address to you
can't
right now.
miss it. As a matter of fact, I think I posted that link like 3 times because I wanted to make sure that it's visible. You could also go to our website and be able to purchase the tickets from there as well.
What's
It's
All
linked.
Saints Catholic School's website?
Okay, All Saints Catholic School. You have all lowercase letters. It's squished together. All Saints Catholic School .us .net.
.net. US. Say allsaintscatholicschool.us.net. Very good. One more thing we got to do. We're running short on time here, but let's talk about the king queen cake, the queen and king cakes, and let's explain. Now, if you're a Mardi Gras purist and know what the pageantry behind the king's cake, but it's very similar to that. But explain to folks what the king's cake is, and talking about getting the tickets and all that stuff, because this is kind of always the I don't know, is it the unofficial big highlight of the event, or or is it the official big highlight of the event? I'm not sure, but it's very much a big part of the Mardi Gras celebration.
It's definitely one of the highlighted events, the King's Cake. The other, of course, being the King and Queen contest, and I'll get to that later. But the King's Cake, it's for one thing, it's so unique looking. I mean, I got to admit, it's pretty to look at because it's the frosting is, you have the bright purple and green.
Right.
But yet it's very appetizing. By the way, that is very delicious cake as well.
Is it tongue color changing type icing?
No. You're good there.
I kind of like that, though. I like walking around with a purple tongue.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, no, it doesn't change the color.
Oh, well, you can find plenty of cakes that'll do that.
Right. So you purchase a ticket and you get a pretty sizable slice of cake there. And if you find the little tiny baby, there's a little baby in there.
Don't eat it.
Right. I was going to say, as you're eating your cake, be very careful not to swallow that.
Go through your cake like there could be something in it, that you just don't want to ingest. So
right. That's a good idea.
Kind of like if you're anticipating a wedding proposal and then you over the cake, maybe dig through the cake first and take a bite.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. So
and if you win the baby,
you take that up to the table where they're selling the King's Cakes, and your name goes in a drawing for one of the big prizes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So that's your in on the big win.
On one of the big wins, right?
Great.
Yeah.
So please, while you're there dancing, obviously if you're sponsors, you get automatic tickets for the cakes, but make sure you get you a couple of pieces or two of the king cake here, and who knows, you could walk away with one of the valuable prizes that you guys have at the end there too.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good. And then let's also explain the Queen King. I'm sorry, I'll just let you finish it because I don't know the full what this is.
That part is always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have nominations for King and Queen.
Okay, is this like prom king, that in that same vein kind of thing?
Kind of similar. I mean, married couples,
Gotcha.
of course.
We're not matchmaking. Here.
No.
That's on y'all own. Y'all do that in your
right. So yeah, one of so what they do is they nominate couples. And they take bids, basically.
Okay.
So you have a person taking bids, and the couple with the highest amount of bids, money bids, of course,
Sure.
Is the one who gets the king and queen. Yeah, it's part of the fundraising aspect. Right. But I tell you what, it is just very amusing to watch that spirit of competition. Because, of course, you got family members there.
Sure.
You have longtime friends. And they are bidding left and right on their favorite couple. And
Great.
I mean, some people are right there close by the stage and, hey, pick me. And I bid this much. No, I bid this much. And
it gets pretty competitive. So
pretty competitive,
I love that. That's great.
but all in good fun, definitely.
And at the end of the day, all of it for the kids.
Yes.
So, so please. So be sure to come there. Maybe if you're trying to gun for king and queen here.
There you go.
Maybe gussy up, bring you A game. It's. By the way, speaking of this, is as far as formality and stuff, is everyone coming in suits and ties, or is this more casual? Or I should have probably asked that question earlier. What's kind of the dress code for the night?
Well, what I've seen kind of a broad range.
Some people get really gussied up, and some go more casual,
and some go a little bit more casual,
so come
and
as
some
you
are
want.
in between. Yeah.
So come as you want, as long as you wouldn't get arrested for it if you wore it out in public.
Exactly. Yeah, where I was gonna say we're not Bourbon Street. So.
Maybe the stuff where you go to actual New Orleans to do, maybe save some of those outfits, because this is a family church event. By the way, I do want to remind folks it is a 21 and over.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are. Yeah, it is a 21 and over.
It is. But so because adult. It's an adult night for the adults here. So, but it's all for the kids at the end. So
right.
We're running out of time here. So, is there any other important details that we want to make sure we get about either Mardi Gras or open house for folks here before we run out of time?
Well, unfortunately, I have a little bit of a Debbie Downer.
Okay.
Pioneer Bank already took the platinum table.
Well.
However,
thank you to Pioneer Bank for stepping up. Yes,
thank you so much.
That.
However, we still have gold and silver.
All right. So reserve today before your chance slips by here. But thank you to Pioneer Bank for stepping up, and somebody's going to get a baby over there, I bet.
Yep. Well, and the more babies you get, the more chances you get to win.
Absolutely. So again, February 26th. Again, it's going to be at St. Peter's Church there in their gymnasium.
Yeah, at St. Peter's Gym over on East Deming. And
starts about 6-ish.
6:30, doors open, and goes till 11.
Yeah, so come and get your tickets right now. Best, probably simplest way is go to the Facebook page. You'll find the event. Click the link there. But if you don't do Facebook or anything like that, you can call the school or
go by 2700 North Kentucky.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Oldfield will get you set up with some tickets.
Yeah, you hand them cash, they'll hand you tickets.
Yep.
Very good. Well, thank you as always. Appreciate the visit. And if you want, maybe we can get you in maybe that week of, and just as a last minute reminder, hey, get your tickets for Mardi Gras and that kind of stuff. I'll set something off off air.
Definitely, that would be great.
Love to have you in there, and of course any other updates we have about All Saints or any of that stuff too.
Yeah, would appreciate that.
Very good. Well,
thank you.
Thank you very much for spending time with us. Have an amazing weekend, and stay warm.
You too, Mike. You have a great weekend, and thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. Thank you. It is 7:58. Let's do a quick break before we get you into news. Don't go away.
The Valentine's Day giveaway is on at Roswell Nissan. Roswell Nissan is giving away a 2-night getaway to Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino in Santa Fe, plus a $100 food voucher at the resort and a $400 Visa gift card. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing February 12th at 1, must be present to win. Plus, 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and $2,000 guaranteed on your trade. There's a lot to love at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate...
Have you ever just been tired? I'm not talking about sleepy tired, more like my mom used to say, sick and tired. It seems like I've been meeting a lot of people lately who are just tired. They're tired of their jobs, of politics, of rising inflation and paychecks that have stayed the same, tired of doing school and work and everything at home instead of somewhere else, and they're certainly tired of COVID. The stress on us because of where the world is right now is high, and it doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Often I'm asked by people who are tired if there's any secret to getting rid of the tired. My answer is simple, but simple doesn't always mean easy. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." That's my simple answer. Give your burdens and all those things that make you tired to the one who can handle it. His shoulders are broad enough to carry your burdens and to hold you up when you're tired. It's taken me a while, but I think I finally figured out that my shoulders are not near as broad as his. I just need to learn to give up trying to carry everything by myself.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
I'm Rich Thomason. Well, the experts missed it by a mile. Instead of a weak January employment report, which is what they had been expecting, American employers added significantly to their payrolls last month.
U.S. job growth blew past expectations in January, brushing off a record-breaking surge in COVID-19 cases nationwide that loomed over the economy as it threatened to sideline millions of workers. The Labor Department said in its monthly payroll report that payrolls in January rose by 467,000, easily topping the 150,000 jobs gain forecast. The unemployment rate, which is calculated based on a separate survey, ticked up slightly to 4%.
Correspondent Bernie Bennett. A line of precipitation stretching from Louisiana and Florida all the way north to New England. That massive winter storm, it's caused so much misery this week. And depending on where you are, it's raining, freezing, or snowing, or a mix of all of the above. In Sawyerville, Alabama yesterday, the storm spun off a tornado, left damage and injury.
He was really hurt. My house is just gone, but this man, he's in bad shape.
Cedric Higgins telling WBMA TV he stopped along the road to help an injured man before finding that his home had been destroyed. China is standing up for Russia in the dispute with the West over Ukraine. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says that a number of dominoes will fall if Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine.
If he gets away with this in the Ukraine, you can expect China to move on Taiwan. You can expect the Iranians to break out and try to get a nuclear weapon, believing nobody will stop them. Ukraine is a democracy. Democracy itself is at stake.
Putin is visiting Beijing for the Olympic Games, and he met earlier today with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 41 points, while the S&P is up 14. The Nasdaq 128 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is Sebastian Gorka, and I want to invite you to join me for a powerful travel opportunity that will likely become the highlight of your year. I'm headed to Israel in November 2022 for a 10-day Stand with Israel tour of the key sites and best places meant to give you an unprecedented view of a world you've likely only read or heard about. Together, we'll uncover key geopolitical insights as we unpack Israel's significance on the world stage. You'll return home empowered by the experience. If you ever dreamt of visiting Israel, this is your opportunity. Come with me in 2022. For more information, call 855-565-5519 or book online at standwithisraeltour.com. 855-565-5519 or standwithisraeltour.com.
There's a pickup truck recall.
Automaker Stellantis is recalling nearly 202,000 Ram heavy-duty pickups and chassis cabs to tighten a loose nut that can stop the windshield wipers from working properly. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the wiper arms may loosen, causing a malfunction that reduces visibility and increases the risk of a crash. Stellantis says it knows of no crashes or injuries linked to the issue. The recall covers Ram 2500 and 3500 pickups and some 3500, 4500, and 5500 chassis cabs from the 2019 and 2020 model years. I'm Ben Thomas.
Police in Myanmar filing an 11th corruption charge against Aung San Suu Kyi, the country's elected leader ousted from power by a military takeover a year ago. State-controlled media reports Suu Kyi being charged under the anti-corruption law could get up to 15 years in prison if found guilty. News and analysis at townhall.com. An upcoming NBA game will make broadcast history even before the opening tip-off.
Back in 2017, Beth Mowins made history on ESPN when she became the first woman to call a Monday Night Football game. She has another shot at history next week when she calls an NBA game that will be announced and directed by all women. The game is next Wednesday when the Golden State Warriors play the Utah Jazz. Mowins will handle play-by-play while Doris Burke will be the analyst and Lisa Salters the side routine. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
Inglewood, California's mayor says a 49ers fan in a medically induced coma fell after he was punched during a brief parking lot confrontation with an apparent Rams fan at the NFC Championship game. The victim, a 40-year-old Oakland restaurant owner, remains hospitalized, and so far there have been no arrests. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes. Well, actually 7 minutes. It's messing up my.
Telling you,
they're messing up my whole pitch here.
Routine.
It is 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday! And McDonald's Friday.
Yes!
Get your land, sea, and air later on today. Or perhaps one of the breakfast
I've been
this
calling
morning.
it the Double Crunch. It's called the Crunchy Double.
Ah, a mix of a reversal of the terms.
It's a Crunchy Double.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you invent the Double Crunch and you flip them.
Now, I was looking at different ways
And add
to
a
do
different
some
crunch.
of these because I was looking at different ways to do some of these because the way they've got it set up is they give you a 6-piece with the Crunchy Double.
But there's only room for 4.
Well, you'd think there's really only
Unless you
room
go
for
vertical.
Unless you start going vertical. So my thought is you make a layer of nugs, a layer of beef, another layer of nugs,
okay,
then a layer of beef, or you go with nugs, beef, nugs, bun.
And you go like a 3-by with your nugs?
I'm thinking, well, yeah, 3 by 3. Yeah.
Okay,
Like
gotcha.
a 3 nugget layer, I feel like is going to be structurally sound.
Sure, I'm not an engineer, but
if you look at
I think that sounds pretty logical.
If you think about Lincoln Logs, if you establish the basic triangle.
I'm a Lincoln Logs connoisseur,
aficionado.
so yes. Maybe even an emeritus expert.
So if you make, I'm gonna be careful. If you make the structural triangle, which would be the three sides, the three nuggets, that's going to hold whatever weight you put on that top structure.
Yes,
it's basically deck building.
Yeah,
just with burgers.
Yeah, little tongue and groove action.
Exactly. Yeah. I dovetailed this one. You can actually dovetail a nugget. You just got to know how to nibble.
Yeah. It's use the nooks and crannies to your advantage.
That's absolutely right. And by the way, speaking of nooks and crannies, the breakfast hack is the hash brown McMuffin.
Yes. I would say the only thing I would add to that, green chilied up, brother.
Ooh.
Yes.
I bet the green on that is phenomenal.
It is. I've had it.
Now
in all fairness, my version was the OG McMuffin. I didn't do it with a sausage. I did it with an egg McMuffin, and I put hash brown and green chili, and it was a dime. It was a 10. It was delicious because the nook and cranny hash brown crunch and that savoriness that comes with the fried potato on top of the Canadian bacon, the egg, the cheese, the green chili, and the mouflon button. It is a 10.
There's no chili this morning.
Oh, bummer. Next week, then.
Yeah.
You got to eat your sausage McMuffin. Now, there is green chili in the fridge, but I don't know how old. That's like a week or two old.
It's in the fridge still?
It's in the door.
Okay, well.
But I don't know the freshness of said chili.
I'm sure it's fine. All right. I'll be back. Vamp!
It's in the door.
Gotcha.
It's in the door. Now I don't condone this because that chili's been in there a couple weeks, and I ain't gonna lie, that makes me a tick nervous. But you do you, brother. If you start puking because that chili, I'm sure it's fine. It's been in the fridge.
Green chili keeps.
I know. I'm weird about.
It's a sealed vegetable.
I in my brain have a very.
You want to sniff it? Give it the old smell test.
It smells like green chili.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It's just been in there a while. And call me a snob. I'm like I like.
It's okay.
Fresh.
So it's not fresh green, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it is green.
Put
so
a nice healthy layer on here. Now the problem already with the hash brown is that it's already longer than the sandwich itself.
That don't bother me.
And
what I did, I actually put a half one on. Is what I did. I ate half and put the other half on the sandwich.
I forgot to get a knife.
That's right. You go for it. Just
I'm
do
gonna
your thing.
let you take a bite, and I'll take one off the other side.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pass that bad boy over.
See, I already have had this. I know what's going on. I've done this
with the hash brown.
Yes.
Okay.
I've done this.
Okay.
I just haven't done it with the sausage.
Ah.
So I know this is good. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is heaven in a bite.
All right. Try to figure out where in there's the best bite right there.
Heaven in a bite right there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
That was great.
It's a 10. It's a 10. Heaven in a bite.
And you know what? I'm going to say because the chili aged a bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It's a sneakier spice. It's kind of creeping.
Yeah. It's good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Pro tip, get your chili from McDonald's and age it a week.
Yeah. I'm sure the sausage one just as good, but if you put it on the OG.
Oh, that's great.
And when's our McGriddle hack coming?
Oh, we just need to come up with one and build it.
Well,
we're talking about the chili and chicken?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, McDonald's should, hey, if you're looking for hacketeers, just saying.
We've got your R&D. We've been doing it for years.
We got the skill set. We got the tools. We got the know-how.
I think we just busted out a rap. Do you and I have flavor?
Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
You want to do karate in the basement?
Uh-huh.
Yup.
Heck yeah.
Visit any of your McDonald's here in town. South Main coming soon.
It's super close, man.
mchire.com if you're looking for employment opportunities. And try the hack menu. How much longer are they doing it?
It just says a limited time.
I will say it's not much longer.
Nope.
In my head, I feel like it was only like a week, but I don't know if that's accurate or not.
So it's only been a week so far. So,
but I'm just thinking like in my head, I just feel like it was only like a short week-long promotion. So I don't know. Coming soon. But of course, this is the beauty of the hack. Now that you have the wisdom and the know-how, you can just buy the ingredients yourself. Like when the hack goes, you don't have to order it, but you can say, give me a fish sandwich, give me a chicken sandwich, give me a Big Mac, and then you can make your own.
I wonder if you approached a McDonald's employee and asked them to blend a small French fry into a McFlurry, not like a fillet, like just into the soft serve to make a McFlurry. I wonder if that would be any good.
I would be out. I know there's a thing for people. I'm not one of those people. I'm not the French fry and milkshake dipper.
But I wonder if
I don't like that concept.
They would even do that.
I bet they would.
If not, I mean,
do they have a blending device?
Well, they have the McFlurry machine.
Yeah, but are they going to want to put savory products in that and mess up the McFlurry machine?
It stirs with its own unique spoons. The spoon the plastic spoon. I used to work there.
I don't have any knowledge.
The plastic spoon attaches to the machine, so it wouldn't actually dirty up any of the machinery.
Okay, well, if that's a thing,
all right.
Get with the MCD R&D.
I'll have to do some MCD R&D. Exactly. Nailed it.
And in the meantime, come up with your own combinations and things today. Big thanks to McDonald's, as they do. It is 8:15. We've got a pair of county commissioners here, so I'm sure they want to love to keep me here and talking about McDonald's treats, but I think they want to come on the radio. So let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still cool today with high pressure moving back into eastern New Mexico. We should have plenty of sunshine. Our afternoon high should be around 40 and a little bit breezy. Cold overnight will drop into the low teens with clear skies and then a little bit warmer on Saturday. Lots of sun and our afternoon high around 50. We're in the low 50s with fair weather on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently 12. We're up to 12, folks. 12 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 70%. Winds are currently out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Sunny today. We may hit the 40s. 42 is what they're saying for a high today, with winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be clear. Overnight low of 10. With north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny, 51 for a high with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking at clear skies with an overnight low of 21. Winds will be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny skies, 52 for a high with northeast winds 10 to 15. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, skies will be sunny, highs mid-50s, 54 expected there. All right, it is 8:16. We got a 2-minute commercial break. Let's go ahead and take care of that right now. And then on the other side of the break, we have a couple county commissioners going to be joining us. Jeff Bilberry and Will Cavan will be joining us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's scary how often we hear those police sirens lately.
Oh, this is the new normal under Mayor Dennis Kintai.
I just don't feel safe these days around Roswell, and I'm worried about our kids.
I know. It's very concerning. Murders are up 140%, and robberies are up 142% in the last 4 years under Kintai.
What?
Yeah, and assaults are up 263%.
That's unbelievable. And I heard the other day that Roswell pays their officers a starting salary 10 grand less than Hobbs and Carlsbad. No wonder we're having trouble hiring.
We need to fire Mayor Kintai and elect Tim Jennings as mayor.
Yeah, Jennings has a plan to hire 10 more officers, and he'll make sure Roswell pays competitively to recruit and retain our police force.
I know Jennings is going to build a substation in the high crime area. That'll help.
Tim Jennings, he's got my vote.
Mine too, because I know he'll keep Roswell safe.
Paid for by Tim Jennings.
The University of New Mexico is committed to ensuring that residents of our state entering college for the first time can afford to pursue a bachelor's degree with the Lobo First Year Promise. Qualified first-time freshmen who have graduated from a New Mexico high school and have an annual family income of $50,000 or less will have base tuition and fees for full-time enrollment covered for the 22 to 23 academic year. Application deadline is March 1st. The Lobo First Year Promise at the University of New Mexico. Find out more at promise.unm.edu.
The Valley Cafe is now open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Located inside the 180 Youth Building across from Church on the Move on Brasher in Roswell. Enjoy soups, salads, sandwiches, burgers, and more. Try one of their signature creations like the Sweet and Spicy Burger with honey jalapeno bacon barbecue sauce, the chicken cordon bleu soup, Chef Anthony Noble's fried avocados, and the Smotherman Burger with creamy green chili sauce. Or swing by for coffee or breakfast burritos on your way to work. The all-new Valley Cafe, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 3. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or even a snack after school. Don't feel like leaving home? Order takeout from DoorDash.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, is this the limit? 2 together at one time that we're allowed to have as far as county commissioners in a room? Is that, I know like you guys aren't supposed to hang out outside the chambers a lot together, but like you can come in twos, right?
Well, we can, yeah, as long as we don't have a quorum, that's works,
the only rule here.
Yeah,
that's 3.
There's
there you go. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But we have, of course, County Commissioners Will Cavan and Jeff Bilberry join us this morning. Morning, gentlemen.
Well, good morning, Mike. Well,
I knew there was a rule because we actually talked about it one time when I was like, yeah, bring the whole commission. I was like, well, we can't do that.
Yeah. Well, if we're in public and we're on the radio and stuff like that, and as long as we're not making any any decisions,
as long as we can keep an eye on you guys, we're good to go.
So you got us on video. I think
everything's above board there.
Yeah,
so
that's
good
exactly
deal.
right.
Well, how are you guys doing this morning? How's life treating? How's the county faring? I know with the weather and everything. What's the reports and stuff? Do you guys, everybody make it okay from the reports and stuff you heard?
I think everything's good. I know Commissioner Bilberry, he lives actually down in the Elida area of Chaves County. And I know with this cold weather, freezing pipes and all that stuff that you're having to deal with. But
of course, farm and ranchers, they're usually pretty handy when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's us dumb city folk that don't know no better.
There's a few guys breaking ice this morning. I hope.
they better be, right? So no, everything's gone really pretty good. And it's nice to get the moisture we got. At least
wish you got a little more, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, there's that fine. It's kind of the Goldilocks still. At least we didn't have Goliath. But we did get some moisture.
Be careful what you wish for. Yeah.
No, that's exactly right.
Absolutely.
So everything's good, and I think the schools took the day off yesterday, and of course they have an in-service going on today.
Yeah, so kids enjoying another sort of snow day with the patches that are still out there.
Yeah, you go out there, maybe slide around on some of the ice.
That's right.
In the shadowed areas. So. But anyway, we just got through having breakfast with Jim Stovall and some of the guys from the BLM and working on some things that we're always having to stay on top of some of this stuff with our lands. I don't know how many people know that Chaves County is a little over 6,000 square miles.
Mm-hmm.
We're a large county.
Absolutely. In land, we definitely are. We got a lot of acreage to cover. And any other time, you really, and it's because of the people. It's all about, I imagine some of these city counties that have their whole population in, a couple hundred square miles there. It's a little easier logistically than having 1/10 of that spread over a couple thousand square miles of space here.
Well, you just have agriculture and oil and dairy and farming and ranching, all of it together, plus Roswell being right in the middle of in the county. You have city dwellers and country dwellers. You have it all. There's a lot to deal with.
Sure. And we have a unique scenario, just we as a city and a county here, because we're a mecca for southeast New Mexico.
Exactly.
People from farther south, Hobbs, Lee, Eddy counties and things, they're coming here for their big city time and things like that.
Yeah.
And needs like that. So we are a small community, but we're big enough where we serve other smaller communities in Southeast. So we're the mecca just by default,
Right. we're the closest thing, but I mean, you take off, go over to Lubbock or Midland or some of these other places.
Yeah, that's our mecca.
That's ours.
Where we go.
So,
they all come here and then we go there.
Yeah. Well, and so we had breakfast with those guys. We've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'm headed up to Santa Fe this afternoon. We've got a New Mexico County's Board of Directors meeting, kind of talking about legislative stuff. And I know last time I was in with you with
we talked a lot about airport and stuff then,
former Senator Jennings, and I tell you what, Mike, one of the big things that we talked about then that I really think is going to come to fruition is the 4 lanes to the Texas state line on 380.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
I'm not going to lie, that's been a long time coming.
Long time.
I'm sure every single person, and that's all of us at some point or another, have driven that way. And every single one of us to a person said, why isn't this 4 lanes? And now somebody's listening to us?
Well, our legislators, Candy and Greg and Phelps and Stu Engel and Cliff Pirtle, I mean, they're all working in unison with.
And they've been fighting for years for that. In all fairness, we got to give them credit. This isn't new to them either. They've been fighting that fight for a long time.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So this deal, that highway 4 lanes there is a bipartisan deal. This is a Republican and Democrat thing, and that's what makes it a good deal.
That's how it's getting on the radar.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, you got on some of these things you got to work together. I mean, there's some things that we don't agree with some of our leaders in local and state, but we need to get to the table and work together.
Can I since we're talking, as roads and I just want to ask a philosophical question a little bit and. Now obviously with this legislative session and the state's been saying we got a little money to spend this time and that can be a very dangerous thing when they turn them loose with that. But is it really the mindset? Because obviously when we think Republicans, conservatives, things like that, they tend to lean towards let's put some money away for the rainy day, especially with oil and gas money. That's a volatile thing that's never consistent. And so you have that side that's always been more conservative, but we know New Mexico, it's a liberal state. Anytime they get money, it turns into a gimme, gimme, gimme moment. Obviously, you guys don't like playing that game, but do you have to play it by default sometimes? Just because, as a county commission, you're looking out for Chaves County, and if the way of the world is gimme, 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 then guess what? You guys got to play that too. I mean, is that a lot of that going on sometimes?
Well, I would say that does happen on a normal basis.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in normal times right now.
That's true.
Right. And when the federal government is sending money out into our state, into our counties and municipalities to spend, you don't get to tuck that stuff away. You have to spend it, and so the infrastructure deal that they passed out in Washington D.C.
Sure.
Well, there's a reason for that. So your roads, your airports,
sure. I mean, and that's where this money for 380 is going to be coming out of.
Right.
Yes,
right.
Okay.
The good thing about it is that before all that happened, the governor had already appropriated funds for us to do passing lanes on 380, which is great. But since we have this kind of money now, let's get it done and do
really
4 lanes and do it right.
Good.
Passing lanes are great, but 4 lanes are a heck of a lot safer and a better scenario for that road.
The tea leaves that you guys are reading right now, does it look like it's going to get some momentum and we might get through with this session?
Well, I'm thinking so because I'm watching because Candy and Greg and them they've got bills that are moving forward out of their committees and like I said, it's a bipartisan deal. I mean, you don't have anybody sitting on the edge going, I don't know about that or anything. I think it's a.
And in this day and age of bipartisan things kind of like a unicorn nowadays. So, so that does bode very well. That like saying, okay, both sides can see the need. That bodes well for saying, you know what, that they're gonna work together to get this one knocked out.
Right, and that's exactly it right there.
Good.
It's nice to see that can still happen.
It is. And after where we've been so diversive and combative. Out of necessity, it seems like over this last 3 years, the fact that we're like, oh yeah, we're all on the same team at the end of the day here. We forgot that sometimes, and so maybe just maybe this is the floodgates to maybe a crack in the armor to see if they can get them to talk on some other issues too.
Yeah, you would hope that would be the case, and so right now some of the things that we're working on that gives us some real concern. I mean, there's a House bill that in conversations over the last couple of days doesn't sound like it's going to go anywhere, but we were really concerned about House Bill 36, which was going to be a deal that was going to give kind of change the wording for the Resource and Mineral Secretary and a couple of these other entities to be able to go out and acquire land and minerals and water rights and things like that. And I mean that's a definite concern for us. I mean, because if you look at the state of New Mexico, and when you start talking about water, water is for our ranchers and farmers.
And you're just taking out the private sector when you go to put that kind of effort to put the government in direct competition with the private.
Yeah, and that's a problem, that and that's if you compile that with just the other practices of the state. And what I mean by that is we are so, I mean, they talk we're pro-business, but the actions that happen don't reflect that. Right. And this can be more of that is what it potentially sounds like.
Right. Well, and that's part of our concern. And I know, Jeff and I were with you about a year ago talking about the 30 by 30 plan that has come out of Washington, which they've rebranded as the America the Beautiful, which they're wanting to take up 30% of the land and 30% of the water to conserve for the future on climate change stuff and everything. And really and truly, 30 by 30 is what they're telling you right now, but what their real goal is 50 by 50, and that's land and water stuff. And so Bill Williams and I are fixing to head out to Washington, D.C. Next week for our NACO legislative conference, and we've got a couple of resolutions to push through our national organization to so Waters of the U.S., WOTUS, I don't know how often you've heard that, but, the federal government wants to take control of and create these it's all about control, Mike, is what it is. And so instead of having your state and local control over things like this, the federal government wants to come in and kind of make these rules up. And, during the 4 years of the Trump administration, they pulled some of that back and put that back to local control. But now you have a new administration where
it's getting ripped up again.
They're going back to where they were.
Well, this is the part where American public gets, because we get juggled around back and forth with this every time there's an administration change here.
Right.
And but you're right, because this is the argument we had, back during the Obama administration when they're coming in and danger listing everything with a heartbeat out here. We had to fight the fight. It's like people in Washington, D.C. that have never seen this land, don't know anything about this land, don't know how it works or operates, are calling the shots, rather than the people that chew the dirt, that live here, that work in this dirt, that live in it, that play in this dirt, that do everything in this dirt. Those are the people that are probably better stewards of the dirt. Why are we telling those people that don't know anything other than what they read on a computer screen how to? And that's the problem here. They just read something and then think, oh, it must be like this, and then you get here and it's like, no, that's none of that stuff. And they're making decisions on assumptions and opinions that they have no real knowledge of what's going on here. And that's the kind of the scary part too. Not the fact that it's just government control, but government control that's uneducated on making good decisions for this area.
Well, one of the deals that's come out is they make all of us who are, just as you said, live in the dirt and work in the dirt, playing the dirt here.
Yeah.
They make us out that we're not good stewards of the land.
Yeah.
That we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
Hold
But that's the intent.
Sure. And that's where it's dangerous and
tell
scary.
the world that we're not good stewards of the land.
Yeah. And that's what's dangerous and scary. And that's the debate you're hearing right now. And so that's when you see those political ads on tell your senators to stop this and that. And all that is they're trying to sway you. But at the end of the day, the people that do this for a living every single day are better stewards of everything. And I tell you, even like back with the prairie chickens and the sand dune lizards, our oil and gas companies, their people live here too. They don't want to destroy and all the things that they accuse the oil industry of doing to the land. Have those things happened in the past? I'm sure they have. It's humanity, but they work hand in hand with the private sector, with the government, with the EPA and all the various agencies that are out there to not only comply but generally go above and beyond some of the minimal standards that the government puts on them as far as
if you went
that
back
kind of
50
stuff.
years, I mean, from 50 years ago to today, we've done a lot better job.
Yeah.
And we always need to do a better job, but you're correct. I mean, look, the people that are here need to be the ones that are making those decisions.
Absolutely, and that's the point. And that's the point we've been making. And now we've got administration again that doesn't see eye to eye on that. So here we go again with the fights in the round.
You get special interest groups that have more voice than we do.
Sure, and they don't. And the people that are running that again have never probably set foot in Southeast New Mexico. They read an internet story about one thing that happened one place, and they just assume that's everything. And now they're going scorched earth on us. Yeah.
Well, and Mike, that word control is the key word to use here, and you got to have more government control because us folks out here don't know what we're doing, and they're
Are we just dumb hicks? Is that kind of the mindset?
But that's not the way our forefathers set it up.
Right.
Exactly.
They set it up for us on the ground to do our business.
I hear a lot of the people by the people in many of the things that the literature they wrote and the documentation that we use to guide our nation today. That those words and things are in there quite a bit, and there's a reason for that. And,
right.
Yeah.
Well, and part of the one of the tools coming out of that toolbox, and you talked about it a little bit. We had the battle over the lesser prairie chicken and the sand dune lizard and stuff, and I mean now you've got a butterfly out there and a jumping mouse and the chipmunk and some of these other things, and so those are all things that are being used to take control.
It's a playbook. It's literally a playbook, and they're taking it from the play. It's the same one they used 10 years ago, whenever and all this was going around the first time. And they heard the same. Okay, you defeat the sand dune lizard. What's next on the list?
Right.
And that's what they're doing, and that's what you're talking about. The butterfly, whatever these animals are, the something minnow or whatever.
Silver minnow, the spotted owl.
This is the playbook. This is what. And so you defeat one of these. And they're just going to go to the next one, because and they got nothing but time and money and resources, so they're not going away with this.
They got a heck of a printing press out there, all I can tell you.
But once you talk about defeated, really they nothing was defeated. A lot of people had to coordinate or collaborate to get past this and give up something to get what both sides
resolved is or whatever.
But that's the plan. If you can. What is the death of 1,000 cuts?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's how, and this is where people have been screaming from the rooftops. You're not going to lose your freedom in one big foul swoop. It's just not. They're not going to be some army that comes through and says you're oppressed. That's not how it's going to happen. It's going to be nickel and diming you. It's stuff like making you wear a mask in places that have no business really need to wear a mask. It's doing stuff like this, But what it impacts. But the thing you're doing is going to impact 1/10 of 1% of population. That we've got to blow up scorched earth because of that 1/10 of a 1%. Now, let's be a little commonsensical here and say let's appease the 1/10, but not throw the baby out with the bathwater on the rest of it here. But that's not how they want us to think and deal, and that's how they take away the freedoms.
Well, and there are thousands. There's your playbook you're talking about. There's thousands of species out there. that they're just waiting to kind of pick the next one out.
Absolutely.
And that's the playbook right there.
And that's
right.
where we as a public, we got to not be naive about this
Right.
stuff. You gotta be aware of it. You gotta, and I'll say this: it's elections coming up. This is why you got to be informed and things, because if you just kind of don't pay attention to this stuff, you unintentionally could be helping to keep this kind of activity going. So
if I had one message for everybody's listening today, 2022 is probably the most pivotal election that this country's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Our state. Educate yourself on the people that are running. Educate yourself on what's going on. Don't step back and say your vote doesn't count, because it is exactly what counts. And if you talk about voter fraud, which may open the whole, if everyone will get out and vote, there will be no voter fraud.
Sure, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Jeff used the key word there also is get educated. Don't you stick your head in the sand and say, "Oh, nothing I can do about it." Get out there and get yourself educated.
And get real educated.
Yeah,
don't go on
find
Facebook.
someone to support.
Yeah, don't go on Facebook, find 12 means that agree with you and say, that's what I thought, and then move on with your day. No. Challenge some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Go to somewhere other than social media to learn news and learn information. Do your, when people share links and articles, do your digging. Read those articles, and then read where they came from. Is it something legitimate, or is it from some other clown in another basement somewhere who looks legitimate? It's really easy to make a website look pretty sharp nowadays.
Yeah.
Odds are, though, that there's a guy wearing plastic pants in a basement that's got nothing better to do all day doing that kind of stuff, and he has no clue on what he's actually talking about.
Right. Well, and so we've really got to a point where we've gotten and created a really good relationship with the BLM. So we have good dialogue and conversation there, and we're in a good place with them. But then all of a sudden we show up with the Forest Service, and a lot of people don't realize that we have forest in Chaves County. But once again, we're
a diverse county.
We're a pretty diverse
We got a lot of
county.
acreage, and there's a little bit. Hence the reason, after again another political fiasco, we're going to have pretty much all 3 congressional districts in our county.
We're not going to get started.
We're going to have a seat at the table.
But so right now we've got the Forest Service has come out with this new plan that they've supposedly been working on since 2015. But now all of a sudden, new administration, they're going to lay this deal out on the table that's going to affect Lincoln, Otero, Eddy County, and Chaves County.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their big deals that they want to do, these entities, are create these like wilderness areas. Okay, and so when you get those like wilderness areas created, well, that's an act of Congress, and so getting it off the books is not happening anytime soon. But they're wanting to take areas that you're like going, are you kidding me?
Sure.
That you're wanting to make this a like wilderness area? You've got tanks and power lines and everything else that are there. It ain't like wilderness. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Okay, well then let's go to D.C. and we'll make the mall like wilderness.
And you have a lot of private land. You got people that other industries in there too, and there's it's like there's just a blank sheet of paper. We're just going to take it all.
Sure. Well, and again, that's the cookie cutter mindset, and it's checking boxes and making numbers on their end, but they don't realize the real impact of what those box checking's doing and the balance that, and that's just it. And people that live out here know it's all the balance, man. You got to have a little of this and a little of that, and it all works. If you start going in there meddling with this stuff and start playing God, in essence, then you're throwing the balance in works here. The government does not know what's best for you all the time.
Right.
And generally, in factors of this area, you know a heck of a lot more than they do about this stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is that you create those like wilderness areas and you do stuff like that. People have water rights and things that are out in that. And now all of a sudden you've put them in a situation where they don't have those water rights anymore, or they can't access them like they should be able to. And it's just wording. Okay, they want us just to cooperate with them.
Okay.
Instead of coordinate. And you look at the NEPA, the laws that local government is supposed to be coordinated with.
Okay.
Put us at the table and let's have that conversation. Don't just show up with a plan and expect us to cooperate with
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it affects our tax base. It affects everything that we do.
Well, yeah, that's the problem here. But but it's that mindset of we know what's best, and that's what we're fighting here on this.
It's not that we have forced and BLM in our county. It's they have forced and BLM in our county.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's really important that a lot of our counties don't have here in the state of New Mexico and around the West.
Yeah.
They don't have their plans in place. And so the government ends up taking advantage of that because you don't have those plans in place. And so that's one of the things being educated and the message that we try to get out to everybody is get that stuff on the books so that when they do come in, you can say, "Oh, wait a second, that's not falling within our county."
It is
plans.
in our comprehensive plan that they have to coordinate with us, and it is actually part of the statute among how they operate that they're supposed to.
Sure. I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Where's the state at here? I mean, is there any state level aid coming to our defense on this, or are they just lockstep with the federal government right now?
Well, I would tell you, Mike, that here in the state of New Mexico, the government put out their 30-30 plan, and then the governor came out with her executive order in lockstep with the 30-30 plan.
Gotcha.
And so, talking about House Bill 36. But the other thing that I don't think it's getting out of the House, but the other thing that they were planning on doing was putting on the ballot a $50 million bond that they were going to call the Land of Enchantment bond, which takes you back to that bill that $50 million was going to be broken up into 6 entities. The Game and Fish was going to get like $2.5 million. The resource and energy minerals, they were going to get $12.5 million of that.
Okay.
And so into the conversations with some of the heads of these secretaries, it's like, well, what are you going to do with that money if this bond passes and you have access to that? And now you've been given the ability, because this House bill has passed, to go out and acquire. I mean, that's what it all comes down to is acquisitions. And, we just had a Game and Fish department that just bought a fairly good-sized ranch, the Pimpkin Ranch. And, they worked through an NGO, bought the land, and so they've created more habitat. Their deal is they created more habitat for the lesser prairie chicken and just that conservation.
Like these lands they're buying up is it the state selling it to them? Is it private?
Well, that was a private entity that owned it, but they sold it to the New Mexico Game and Fish Department.
Yeah. So and I get it, money talks.
Exactly. But what are we selling the soul for?
Yeah, right. But if we're outbidding our own,
but they come in direct competition with private. That's what I was talking about a while ago. Yeah. That was a piece of property I was talking about.
I mean, and it's really hard to ask someone to say, hey, take a price cut to sell to the other guy versus the federal government when it's. And I'm guessing probably a major significant difference in what the private is going to willing to buy that land for, which is versus what the government's going to give you.
But this bond that Will's talking about, what you're basically doing, if it passes, the citizens of the state of New Mexico are paying to have the state come in and
take
buy
away
land.
Our own land.
And the folks that own the land, they're going to be taxed for someone to come buy their land.
Right.
So as far as is it resistance or is this bill getting a lot of good traction or for their end?
I don't know what anybody really knows.
I mean, is there any kind of resistance?
When you look at the ballot and you go to reading those bonds and you read through all of it,
the lawyers did a good job with muddying up to make it confusing, kind of thing.
Well, so the good thing about it, Mike, is that this is a 30-day session. And so I don't think this House Bill 36 is going to get out of committees to get to the floor to vote on.
But you think it'll come back next year?
Yeah.
Well,
these deals don't ever go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be back next year. And that's so back to $12.5 million to the Department of Resources, Minerals, and everything. I mean, so that's where you start talking about buying up water rights and things like that. And those are precious resources that we have.
And let's face it, all the things we're talking about here, they're muddy enough to where most people get glassy-eyed when you talk about it. Water rights, any kind of rights, grazing rights, but just land. And the public is like, whatever, with land and stuff. But this is where, okay, I get it. You don't understand the ins and outs of water rights and land rights and what you can do on the property and what you can't do on the property. I get that. But at the same time, let me ask you this. Do you want the government telling you what to do with all that? Or do you want the people that live here, serve here, work here, play here, that appreciate the land in which they live their lives on, understand what's better? And that's, okay, maybe you don't have to know the X's and outs and ins and O's, but who do you trust making those kinds of decisions? The people that do it or the federal government? And that's the big question.
Well, and so right now, I mean, if you look at the stuff that's going on in Canada with the truck drivers, and you're going to see a lot of that here, but, unfortunately, people that are in these metropolitan areas, these big cities, they just go to the grocery store and get their stuff. Okay, they just think that stuff just magically shows up.
Sure.
And the elves come out and restock everything, and it just shows up at the back door.
They live in
and
a
all that
shoe or
stuff.
something. Yeah, I guess
Right,
those elves.
right. And so there's not that in your face type deal that says, you show up and those shelves aren't stocked and you don't have your necessities. And all of a sudden you go, well, where did it all go? Well, the truck drivers got a little angry.
Yeah.
And so they're not delivering the stuff. And so now you have a more of an appreciation for those truck drivers.
Sure.
And those truck drivers aren't going to be driving around in electric in big electric semi trucks.
Sure.
I mean,
they got the tools that they like to do the job and can do the job. Stop changing their tools out.
Right.
Let them do the job.
And California is really, really bad. And I know Jeff.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, to take that back about 2 steps. I mean, for something for the truck drivers to haul, when you've got guys growing the beef and growing the corn and pumping the oil and digging the holes in the ground, giving them something to haul.
Absolutely.
Right.
And when you can set in these city dwellings or whatever and think, well, that's an agriculture issue or that's an oil and gas issue. That's not going to affect me.
Yeah.
Well, when you went down to get your groceries, yes,
you consume said products?
Yes. It does affect you.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I don't drive a car. I don't use do you use a pocket comb? Do you got what's that plastic on your microwave there?
Well,
what's
might take a bus. Your bus ticket just went up.
If you own anything plastic,
right?
You guess what? Oil and gas is contributing to your life right now.
It is.
That's exactly right. So, anyway, so those are a bunch of the big things that we have going on. We're going to have a big summit in Nebraska on this. I mean, once again, it's all about educating people and making sure people really understand what's going on. I mean, it's really a beautiful thing to sell the America the Beautiful and Land of Enchantment stuff and put these brands on there, but people really need to understand what the end game is here.
Sure.
And so our hunters, fishermen, all these guys, they're all thinking that this is really great, but when they're not able to go out to their unit to hunt on because it's considered like wilderness.
Protected land,
right?
Protected. Protected creatures, yeah.
And then your WOTA stuff, your favorite fishing hole, all of a sudden is you don't have access to that fishing hole.
Yeah.
People need to make sure that they're aware of and not just listening to what they're being told.
And people don't have to go very far to realize that impact. They can go just right out here, right outside of town to this wilderness area out here, and they're limited on what they can do there.
Well, and I would even offer this too. And we've seen this in past history in our area, where they've had the control, and you saw what they did with it. I'll point to the owls and they're talking about and then all of a sudden we got bad fires and populations of owls because guess what? They protected an area, did nothing to it, and now the area which they speak of is not good for the owls and things because it's too much overgrowth. Now there's fires, and we need us to go and maintain the yard, so to speak, to get that done. But the federal government doesn't realize or care that kind of stuff. They're like, oh, protect it and let it. And I don't know if they've been watching Discovery TV and watching those after people leave kind of thing, and they want to make it do that. But we can't be here and have that happen at the same time. So, I get protecting Earth, but I want to be on it. So, so leaving their control of that things are the kind of things you're going to see. Do you want that happening in your backyard? And that's what we're talking about here.
Right.
Let the people that live here do what they do to take care of it because they know better than the people that don't live here.
Yeah, if you're not doing some harvesting and not cleaning up the fuel that gives those fires the opportunity to run.
And then they're like, well, why are the owls hanging at Walmart? Because they can't hang out in the forest because you just muddied up their hunting ground so they can't see or hunt. So now they're hanging at Walmart waiting for you to drop popcorn on the ground.
No, you're right about that. So
we're out of time here, but I want to give you guys last word or anything we want to make sure we talk about here.
Everybody get out and vote. Educate yourself. Do your due diligence. I can't stress that enough.
Well, let me just say, and unfortunately, Bill and I are going to be in Washington, D.C., but come Saturday the 12th, a week from this Saturday, they're going to have groundbreaking for the Ascent Project out there at the Air Center. And I mean, that deal is going to be huge for the city of Roswell, Chaves County, and southeastern New Mexico and the state of New Mexico. And it's a really big deal. And I mean, that deal is happening because of the work that has been done in a bipartisan fashion. Republicans and Democrats seeing the opportunity out there. I mean, Candy Azell, Greg Nybert, Senator Jennings. I mean, everybody has got a piece of the pie in getting that deal done, and that's going to be a really big deal.
And it's going to benefit all of us.
It's going to benefit all of us, and so I'm just I'm glad we finally got to this point, and
I think, and that's proof. If we all sit down and talk talk about our issues and try to meet the needs of all that while at the same time getting done, that's what can happen here. And it sounds like that was that collaborative effort, and that's where it goes. And it's time to get back to that versus what we're seeing other places.
Put your political parties to the side and just get it done. Solve the problems and grow.
We all want to be happy. We all want to have a great, successful area. We just all don't agree on how to get that done. And if we can keep it back to those issues and not all the ancillary other things that they try to crowbar into this and make it an issue out of when it's really not at the end of the day, then we'd be a lot better off here. But we, the community, like Jeff was saying, go out and vote, but educate yourself. That's the thing, is understand they are pulling rope-a-dopes, they're pulling, whatever you want it, the term you want to call it. There are shenanigans going on, and it will go unchecked if you just let it happen. Exactly. You need to call out the people, and to be honest, that's all it sometimes needs to be. It's just they're just, let's see if anybody notices, and they don't. But as soon as someone raises a flag, they're like, all right, we'll back off on that. But that's it's almost like taking shots at the wire to see what's going to trip,
Well, it's throwing that stuff on the wall and seeing what's going to slide down and what's going to stay up there. And so
absolutely.
It's unfortunate.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate the visit. Appreciate what you do for Eddy County, Chaves County.
We'll
I got to talk to even Eddy County, too. You helped them out.
There's some good guys down there.
They are.
Here in Chaves County and in our community. And we, anytime we can, you guys want to come on and shoot the breeze, love to have you.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Safe
Mike,
travels,
appreciate
too.
You.
Thank you.
All right, 8:56, quick news and commercial break before more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County leaders are noting accomplishments in the first month of the new year, including new roof coatings for the administration building and a large chunk of the old jail area of the Eddy County Detention Center. The county also recently purchased several new pickups to replace old ones and resurfaced the parking lot at the Eddy County Health Office in Carlsbad and the Eddy County Extension Office. And the County Commission also recently approved the purchase of new AEDs, or automated external defibrillators. These new units will be on board fire trucks. Eddy County Commissioners approving new illegal dumping ordinance as well. That new ordinance comes with stricter enforcement measures, which include the possibility of jail time for those caught dumping trash illegally. The county reminding residents there are many trash disposal options available. Those include the Artesia Transfer Station, the Artesia Convenience Station, Sandpoint Landfill, the Carlsbad Convenience Station, and the Loving Transfer Station. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The Department of Homeland Security announced the creation of a new cybersecurity review board that will have public and private sector experts examine significant hacking incidents and recommend improvements. The new board is modeled after the National Transportation Safety Board, which reviews plane crashes and other major accidents, and was mandated by an executive order President Biden signed last May. Meatpacking giant JBS has agreed to a $52.5 million settlement in a beef price-fixing lawsuit that some say supports their concerns about how the lack of competition in the industry affects prices. The Colorado-based company didn't admit any wrongdoing as part of the settlement, and a company spokeswoman said JBS will continue to defend itself against other plaintiffs. On Wall Street, the Dow down 518 points, the Nasdaq down 538, and the S&P 500 dropped 112 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Buying a good, clean, reliable pre-owned vehicle is about the smartest thing you can do these days. But how do you know it's good, clean, and reliable? Just visit your friends at Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, we have over 100 outstanding pre-owned vehicles ready to serve you and your family for years to come. How do you know? Because we put everyone through a rigorous 139-point inspection, and we give you a 3-day money-back guarantee to be sure it's right. These are vehicles that you'll be proud to own and thrilled to drive, like a 2015 Ford Fusion Hybrid for just $11,980, a 2017 Ford Escape, just $15,980, and a 2020 Ford Explorer XLT for just $39,980, plus about 100 more that are just as good. Sure, you can get a used car just about anywhere, but you'll only find a selection like this at Roswell Ford. So don't take chances. Come by and see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
Hi, I'm Dennis Kintai, Mayor of Roswell. Since becoming mayor in 2014, we've accomplished a lot. We've cleaned out numerous derelict structures that spoil our neighborhoods. We've constructed a state-of-the-art aquatic center. We have built 2 new splash pads in city parks for families to enjoy. We have invested over $25 million to revitalize our air center. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the city of Roswell has stayed open and free while we work to ensure everyone's safety. Today, we are under attack from those trying to impose Santa Fe values on our way of life. I will always fight to keep Roswell values front and center. We've done a lot, but there's more to be done. I'm asking you to vote to keep me, Dennis Kintai, as your mayor on March 1st. Together, we can keep Roswell free. This is Dennis Kintai, and I approve of this ad.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 7% of American adults, roughly 16.4 million Americans, believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. We don't know if they asked them where strawberry milk comes from. Here's Mike Winters.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Thousands of flight cancellations and treacherous roads, stranded travelers, and hundreds of thousands without power. The result of a massive winter storm stretching from Texas to Maine, the Northeast now getting the worst of it with sleet, freezing rain, snow or rain, or a mix. Ohio State Highway Patrol Lieutenant Nathan Dennis with a safety tip for drivers.
Taking extra time to get to your destination, accelerating slowly so that you don't spin out, and also braking very easily. So when you do come to a stop or you need to stop, you're not losing control of your vehicle.
He spoke with WEWS-TV. The storm produced a powerful tornado about 70 miles southwest of Birmingham, Alabama yesterday. Sawyerville resident Cedric Diggins was headed home when he made a startling discovery.
There was a man laying right there in the road that was hurt. He was hurt bad. So I stopped to help him for about 30 minutes before I even came home. I took my coat off and put it under him so he could have somewhere to lay down and put my umbrella over because he was hurt.
Diggins tells WBMA-TV that his house fared no better. It was destroyed by the storm. The U.S. claims that Russia trying to create a pretext for invading Ukraine.
One possible option the Russians are considering, and which we made public today, involves the production of a propaganda video, a video with graphic scenes of false explosions depicting corpses, crisis actors pretending to be mourners, and images of destroyed locations or military equipment, entirely fabricated by Russian intelligence.
The State Department's Ned Price providing no hard evidence to back up the claim, which is denied by Moscow. The Labor Department says America's employers grew their payrolls by 467,000 jobs last month, far more than economists were expecting. The Dow down 255. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Attention! This is a special alert for all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an overpriced auto warranty or no warranty coverage at all. Due to the increase of new and used car prices, repair costs, and the price of gas, people are keeping their cars longer than ever, which is why CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on covered auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can save thousands for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could save thousands on future auto repairs. Our specialists are standing by for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-708-1855. Vehicle protection plan pricing is at an all-time low. Plus, drivers who purchase this coverage today will receive rental car options, free roadside assistance, and free towing. Call 800-708-1855 now for your free quick quote. That's 800-708-1855. What do you have to lose? Call 800-708-1855. Again, 800-708-1855.
It's Independence Day in Sri Lanka, and the country's president using the occasion to appeal to the country's expatriates to send money home as it struggles with the worst economic crisis in decades, mainly because of depleted foreign reserves. Sri Lankans are facing shortages of milk, cooking gas, kerosene, and other essentials. Cash shortages have hindered imports of raw materials for manufacturing and worsened inflation, which surged to 12.1% in December. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg will become Norway's next central bank governor. Stoltenberg's tenure at NATO ends later this year. Norway's government announced his appointment at the central bank in a statement saying it hopes that he can start in his new role around December 1st. The current governor of the bank is retiring this year after holding the position since January 1st of 2011 for 2 terms. The 62-year-old Stoltenberg was Norway's finance minister. News and analysis, townhall.com. There is a push to legalize recreational marijuana in Maryland.
Lawmakers in the Free State announced legislation they say will put the state on an equitable path to legalize adult recreational marijuana if voters approve it in November. A bill introduced Thursday would create an implementation plan. The measure sets out to address criminal justice and public health issues while also building a foundation for social equity in the industry. The bill would allow Marylanders to possess up to 1.5 ounces of recreational pot without penalty. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
China is standing up for Russia in Moscow's dispute with the West over Ukraine and the possibility of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin is visiting Beijing for the Olympics, and he met earlier today with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is down 252 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Sports is going on here.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, Degrees. Good morning. It is still 6 minutes after 9 o'clock till right now. Now it's 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Mornings
with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Apologize, I'm trying to keep that up, but I don't want to get too inside baseball, but basically we have an automation system that it'll trigger off things at the top of the hour and everything. So a lot of times you hear me talk, I'm talking right up to that point where the computer's going to start playing something. But the entity which we received said content from, I don't know if their triggers are off or their computers are squirrely, but they're 30 seconds behind when it should be.
Right.
And if you're thinking, well, that's no big deal. But in our world, that's
it's an
everything.
Eternity.
Yeah, that's everything.
That is so long.
It literally knocks everything off 30 seconds. And until they get this problem fixed, we're kind of at their mercy.
Right.
So it's going to make our transitions a little muddy.
I wonder if
I don't know how long it's going to keep going, but it could go on past my show. I just want to warn you.
Now, full pullback of the curtain. Is there any way we could put in a fill cut in the meantime?
Maybe, but it still might screw up the rest of the break of the hour because, and this is again getting inside baseball. After my show, we're going to go from a company that's going to give us news content and a different company giving us show content.
Right.
And you got to meld that together, and this is going to make that part, and that's where it's really hard to just throw a thing up there. Just
The marriage isn't working well today, and it's weird. It's especially eerie and like irritating as you head into a Friday and a weekend. It's like, oh boy.
After a week of snow delays and candidate forums, which I mean all went off well, but it's been a long week for OMW here, and I'm ready for a break.
Right, and a well-deserved one. Now I'm curious if they're having inclement weather issues that might be leading to something.
Well, it could be because back east they're getting all kind. I'm sure a lot of these their headquarters are in New York City, and they're getting weather. So maybe it's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. What's the? Oh, there was a. I can't even remember the movie, but it's a possibility. It was some movie where a guy did that, and now it's stuck in my head. I don't know the reference or remember the reference. It's just one of those pieces of spam debris that just float around in my head.
Like slogans with me, because all I could think of when you said that was the possibilities are endless. That was a Olive Garden slogan from like 7 years ago.
Now that reeks of Letterkenny humor. Possibilities. I feel like it's a whole segment right there. The possibilities are endless.
Possibilities are endless.
Dark web.
It's funny. Everybody I've talked to about that show that have touched them with it is they're now a fan.
Oh yeah.
It will get its hooks in you.
Well, to be fair. There's an homage there. It's good writing. It
really is.
It sells itself once you get into it. You just got to turn them on to it.
It's like that's one of those things when you like a series that is actually worth watching. Like Breaking Bad, I've always felt a certain pride about. Like it's my show.
You take ownership of it?
I sort of do. Like I can like imbue the show on people. And like, there's amazingly people out there who just have never thought to watch Breaking Bad.
Well, it's a dark story. And if you're not into dark stories, that's probably not your cup of tea.
And the big argument that I've had with people is that they don't want to sink their teeth that deeply into a show that's all about meth, which I can understand.
But it's really not about meth. It's really about the struggle of a man's life and the decline of it, trying to do better for his family. Meth is the setting it sits in.
As Gilligan himself says, it's the story of taking Mr. Chips and turning him into Scarface.
Yeah.
But for those people, I submit Better Call Saul. It's got as much of the dark and grittiness. It still has a little bit of the drug cartel push.
But it's a little bit lighter. You're right.
It's a lot more easier to digest because of
Don't get me wrong. There's some dark moments.
Content.
I mean, Saul goes to dark places in his head there.
It's not all about the law side of things. It's also the Mike Ehrmantraut side of things. And you meet Gus Fring and spoiler alert, I guess. But so it's sort of, you get exposed to the darkness. But
by the way, when's that
a stair step?
It's final season, right?
Yeah.
When's it come out?
Still haven't announced yet.
No?
Sometime this year is what I'm hearing, because they've already gone back to set and filmed, I think, everything.
I got to be honest. I watched the first couple seasons. I probably need to just start over. I think, and I just need to give it a go.
It's a lot of build up for the first 2 seasons.
But I feel like I've been so far out of it that I've almost forgotten what's going on. Like I've kind of forgotten. Like I'm not emotionally at the spot where I'm like, what? Like I don't want to get into these big things, and I'm like, What happened again? I don't remember. Why is this big? I don't.
So what I will suggest is go on YouTube. You can find usually like a 5 to 10 minute, and especially on Saul, I actually have a couple of channels I could send you. They have like, there's the in-depth side of things where every single episode is recapped and looked at, but you can find like a 5 to 10 minute series recap,
like
to
a synopsis or
give
something.
You everything in a bite-sized detail that you need.
Okay.
To head into the new season. But
I like
I think it's supposed to be sometime like summertime.
A Cliff's Notes, if you will, of the series. Okay, I could do that. Very good. We got a busy hour.
You do.
I did it again. I straight up did it again for the second time, and I vowed I wasn't going to do it again, and I did it again. I done the Tucker family wrong.
You tuckered yourself.
I done the Tucker family wrong. I thought James's dad texted me or shot me. Was it text or however I got communicado? I think it was Facebook. Hey, can I come on Friday? And I assumed it was Jim Tucker, Skywarn weather coordinator,
right?
Not James Tucker, the son, who is with Celebrate Recovery.
Sure.
So I found out real quick. I got the wrong Tucker.
You got plum tuckered.
I got plum tuckered. So James Tucker and Barry Anderson are going to join us here from Celebrate Recovery, give us an update on what's happening there. Molly Boyles with Main Street Roswell also join us this hour talking First Friday, which guess what? It's First Friday, and talk about what's going on and all of that for tonight here as well. So we'll get all that in this hour. First off, though, I do have to thank the fine folks at McDonald's for providing breakfast treats each and every Friday. I forgot to tell Barry to help himself to some. Barry, if you're listening, there's some McDonald's in the other room. Help yourself to it. I forgot to mention that. Hopefully Tanner told him. But anyway, the big thank you to McDonald's. They come through each and every Friday for us. Of course, right now they're doing their hack menu items. These are, if you're like, what is that? You go to McDonald's. They'll tell you all about it. But basically, people for years have been hacking the menu. They'll buy, say, a double cheeseburger and a 6-piece chicken nuggets and then putting the nuggets into the sandwich and making a whole new sandwich. So now McDonald's is like, hey, I see your creations and we're going to, officially McDonaldize them and then offer you an opportunity to build one yourself. So right now you can order and they don't build the sandwich for you. That you've got to build it. You do you on that, but they'll say, you want our what the internet has created, the Land, Sea, and Air burger, which is actually a filet of fish, the crispy chicken, and the Big Mac patties, all melded and combined together. And so you order that, they'll give you those sandwiches, and then you look up how to construct it if you so want, or if you just want to eat them individually. I mean, you do you. It's your food. You put it in your gullet, but they're giving you those opportunities right now to do that. And of course, if none of that appeals to you and you just want your standard fare, they got you covered. Go on by and get your Egg McMuffin or whatever. They got the breakfast. One of the breakfast hacks is the sausage McMuffin with a hash brown on it. And really, people probably been doing that one for years by themselves without even doing it. But I will tell you this, that is equally good with the original Egg McMuffin, as we proved last hour. So if you want to do your own breakfast hacks, go for it. But big thank you to McDonald's. Stop on by any of our 2 soon-to-be South Main coming soon here, any day now, I'm hoping, for Roswell. And if you're looking for career opportunities through McDonald's here, through the Snowburger team, please log on to mchire.com. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still cool today with high pressure moving back into eastern New Mexico. We should have plenty of sunshine. Our afternoon high should be around 40 and a little bit breezy. Cold overnight will drop into the low teens with clear skies and then a little bit warmer on Saturday. Lots of sun and our afternoon high around 50. We're in the low 50s with fair weather on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 16 degrees here in Roswell. Yeah, we're up to 16. Pretty good, huh? We started at, I think, 8 and then went to 10. Now we're at 16. Humidity is at 67%. Winds are calm at the moment. We're going to hit the 40s today, so they say. Sunny skies, a high of 42 expected. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 10. At least it's double digits. I'm putting a half spin on that one. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, we're going to hit 50. So they say, allegedly. Sorry, Letterkenny reference. Sunny, high of 51 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 21. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 52 with northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Monday, sunny skies, mid-50s when you head back to work and school on Monday. All right, it is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I think we'll talk with the folks from Celebrate Recovery here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, because there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. At Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and get a $70 reward card on select Michelin tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price, not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. See store for details. Some stores in Missouri, Minnesota, and Kansas are company owned.
The University of New Mexico is committed to ensuring that residents of our state entering college for the first time can afford to pursue a bachelor's degree with the Lobo First Year Promise. Qualified first-time freshmen who have graduated from a New Mexico high school and have an annual family income of $50,000 or less will have base tuition and fees for full-time enrollment covered for the 22 to 23 academic year. Application deadline is March 1st. The Lobo First Year Promise at the University of New Mexico. Find out more at promise.unm.edu.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Time to double up and save at Roswell Honda.
Double your refund.
That's right. Roswell Honda wants to double up your tax refund up to $4,000 towards your next vehicle. And with clearance prices across the lot, you can walk in, double up, and drive away today in a 2014 Yukon for just $379 a month, a 2014 Civic for just $249 a month, or a 2017 Escape for just $199 a month. Zero down, no payments for 4 months, free AirPods with a test drive, and double your refund.
Time to double up.
On now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. During your lifetime, you'll produce enough saliva to fill 2 swimming pools. Spit out this bit of information at your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes, closing in on 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Celebrate Recovery.
Yes.
James Tucker.
James Tucker. Junior. Yes.
The son, not the dad. Though I'm sure he's appreciating of the weather. He doesn't know as much as his dad does about weather. So we're not talking about weather here.
Not weather today.
And Barry Anderson also joining us this morning. Morning, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
First off, before we kind of talk about our events and talk about what you got coming up here, let's give folks just a quick synopsis of what Celebrate Recovery is. I think a lot of people kind of get a hint of it, but I got to be honest, you guys are more than just helping people with addiction issues. That's kind of the surface, getting in the door, but you're about connecting people to God. That's really, at the end of the day, that's kind of what Celebrate Recovery is.
Right. And we 2/3 or only 1 in 3 people that come to Celebrate Recovery actually come for substance and alcohol addiction.
Sure. They have problems in their life, but it may not be drugs and alcohol. It could be family issues, could be a number of things.
Sure. Our kind of catchphrase is hurts, habits, and hang-ups.
Yeah.
And that's all of us.
There's not anybody that wouldn't benefit from going through this.
If you have a perfect life right now and no problems or issues, you're the only one on the planet. But I would like to kind of meet you because I want to see what's going on there.
We'd like to fill us in on your secret.
Can I get a cup of what you're drinking?
And it's probably denial, to be honest.
Yeah, and thankfully that's lesson 1 is denial. We teach you how to overcome your denials.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what that's what the whole point of Celebrate Recovery. It's to help people connect to God. And let's face it, because what's going on here, and I don't want to get too deep, because this is what you guys do, but I just want to kind of give people a picture of what you do. Is people that are dealing with addiction issues or dealing with problems in their lives, they're trying to resolve those problems.
Right.
We all don't have the tools we need to solve. We know we have a problem. We know there's a problem there. Something is eating at our hearts here. Whatever it is, whether it's family, whether it's life goals, whatever it is, there's something there. And so we in human nature just we do what we do to medicate or treat ourselves. And that's where a lot of people, we talk the addiction side, a lot of people are saying, I've got home issues, but guess what? That drinking solves it for 5 minutes, and they want that connection and feeling every time. But maybe it's something different. Maybe it's another addiction. Maybe it's mental health. Maybe that everyone's beating you down, and now you're angry at the world and yelling at everybody, and now you're burning relationships and doing those kind of things. But either way, you're missing something in your heart, and it really is God. God's, you're off the path. God has the plan for you, and I believe this in my heart. And as do most Christians here, but we need to be reminded of that. We need to be guided back on that path, and that's where Celebrate Recovery comes in. It's a group of people coming together, all struggling with problems, and we're all trying to get through them together and using God as our beacon to find our path and to stay on that path. Is that pretty good assessment of what Celebrate Recovery is all about?
Yeah, and then of course in order to get there to that point, we work the 12 steps. I mean, of course, there's the 12 steps, the secular 12 steps that say God as we understand Him, is step 3. But we've modified the steps to say we serve one and only one higher power, and that higher power is Jesus Christ. Sure. And then we work we've come alongside, or Celebrate Recovery has come alongside that and created the 8 principles. That are based on the Beatitudes out of the book of Matthew.
Sure.
So
really, it's kind of acceptance, getting you to accept, and once you've broken that barrier, now we build you back up and give you the tools to live the path with God and to how to have a better understanding with God, and when you have those moments, because we all do, we all have difficult moments in lives and things, but when those come across, you now have the tools and the mechanisms to help keep you on the path versus going back to old habits and old ways of treating and fixing things.
Yeah, and a big part of that's just our step studies and our accountability partners and your sponsors. And we use a lot of the traditional AA approach, but they've melted it down into 8 biblical principles, and it's all scripturally based. And
you put more meat on them, basically.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, you put some, it's not just do as I say, here's how we do it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where it's getting into here.
Absolutely right.
Very good. So, and this is for, if there's people listening, maybe they're on the path and doing the path and they're looking for more resources and more people to come. Maybe you're new to the area. It's like, hey, I was involved with, maybe it's not Celebrate Recovery, maybe it's AA or some other program from another area, and you're looking for a home of people that would love to be a part of that and part of the fellowship and the comradeship and the strength in numbers mentality of dealing with life struggles together. And if you're looking for that home, guess what? Celebrate Recovery's got a seat waiting for you.
Oh, absolutely, and that's key. That's key. The community aspect of doing life together is key for all of us.
Sure. Well, and that's because I think, and I'm sure you guys, through your own stories and past, have had that where you have that moment of overwhelmed, where it's you against the world. No one understands what they tell me, but it's good. They don't get me. That's, odds are they really did. You just didn't realize it.
Right.
But that it's hard to do that by yourself, and that's why so many people fail, because they think they can carry that burden on their shoulders by themselves, and they're trying to. And you may succeed for a minute, but at some point you're going to stumble, and that load's going to fall off your shoulders. And that's where you guys come in and say, no. We don't carry the burden by ourselves.
Right.
God, we give the burden to God, and we just try to do everything to keep to stay on the path with God and do what God wants us to do, and use the tools God gave us to do smart things and right things in our lives, so we can better ourselves and our people around us. And that's it in a nutshell. That's the big.
Right.
There's no real secret here. That's the key, and how the devil's in the details. But yes, that's the key.
Well, you said about making right decisions. Work on making one good decision at a time.
Mm-hmm.
We say one day at a time, but it's honestly it's more than that. It's an hour at a time, or it's a minute at a time, and so work on the next good decision.
Yeah, and this isn't about addiction or any of that. This is just life for everybody.
Correct.
And we're all going through the COVID world right now. We've all been pushed to our limits at some point or another during this. And Celebrate Recovery helps people cope through that and cope through life's and it doesn't matter if you fell or stumbled deeply or little or whatever it is. If you're dealing with problems of life and you can't handle it by yourself, this is Celebrate Recovery. It's not. Just don't feel like, oh, I don't have an alcohol problem. I don't have a drug problem. I don't have a gambling problem. I don't have I haven't been in trouble with the law. I'm just not happy with life. Well, that's good enough. That's you don't have to. Hey, let's get you fixed before you spiral into doing worse things. If we can catch you before that, that's called a miracle. That's called a blessing. That's the idea. So.
Right.
Wherever you're at, come visit. Come sit down for a meeting. Come have a meal. Come have a meal together, fellowship, something. Just sit down and let's talk.
And then that's a big part of it. It could be anxiety. It could be depression. It could be just self-esteem issues. There's a number of issues that would be, see, and we walk alongside of those folks.
God did not give us manuals on how to work the body and work the mind here when we were born. I mean, He did with the Bible, but it didn't come like on a stamp in the box that we came in here, and so we have to reach out and learn these things on our own.
Absolutely.
And that's, some people get that message early, some later in life, but wherever you got it, we want you to get it, and that's what it's about. So.
Right.
Now, you guys do have an event coming up here in April we want to put on people's radar, right?
We do. April 2nd, at 4 p.m. It's a Saturday. She's a product of Celebrate Recovery in California.
Okay.
She's been on the bills for the summits that they have every year.
Okay.
Whether it be in the West Coast Summit or the East Coast Summit.
She's one of the top performers, entertainers.
Right. Her name is
speakers.
Right. She performs spoken word pieces.
Okay.
Her name is Hosanna Wong. And she's from San Francisco. She's got an amazing
What a pretty
story.
name.
Yeah.
And not enough people named Hosanna nowadays. You don't hear that name as a first name very often.
She's an amazing woman of God. She does co-host Better Together on TBN in the mornings. But she's an international speaker. She's a pastor at East Lake Church in San Francisco.
Okay.
And she's an author. She's just an amazing woman of God and powerful.
I imagine she's been if she's living in the San Francisco. I mean, we all see the news and see the rough time that city's gone through before COVID. But I imagine she got time to come here with all the work need to be done there in San Francisco.
Right.
Yeah, we're extremely blessed to have her come, and we're looking forward to some great ministry to take place.
So that's going to take place on April 2nd. And for folks that don't know, you guys meet every Friday night, so come on out tonight. They're at Grace Community Church.
In the Children's Building.
In the Children's Building. I'm assuming that the event on April 2nd will be there at Grace Church? Okay.
It'll be in the
auditorium.
In the main auditorium there.
And that's a Saturday night.
Plenty of room for everybody. That thing,
absolutely.
That seats what? About 1,000 or so. I don't even know.
A little less than that, but we don't. We hope to fill it up.
We've
the
got,
whole point.
I've already had people from Las Cruces, southern New Mexico. A lot of them have even contributed monetarily to have her come.
So the finance part's covered. We want to just get her message out.
This is a free event.
Very good. Doesn't cost you a dime.
Doesn't cost you a dime.
Come on out. I imagine if you would like to make a love offering, there will be opportunities, but but you are under no obligation or feel no guilt if you can't do it or don't want to do that.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are going to offer childcare, limited availability, and if people are
so don't use that as an excuse either. We'll get the kids taken care of while
contact the church, and we'll get them on a list, and we'll take as many as we can for that night.
And I would offer, well, I got to take care of my kids. Well, you can't take care of your kids if you don't feed your own soul, too.
That's right, absolutely.
So feed your soul so you can feed your children's soul. And that's part of it. So take advantage of those things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Again, that's going to be April 2nd.
April 2nd.
And obviously, we got a little time between now and then, so we're going to get the word out. We'll get you guys back on to remind everybody, but kind of put it on your calendars for now. Make that a plans to attend that date on April 2nd. What time's everything get underway?
4 p.m.
4 p.m., so you'll be early enough where you'll be done, and then if you got evening plans or you just want to go spend a quiet evening with family, you got plenty of time to do that.
Correct.
So, or if you're a late eater or early eater, you can work around
we're
that.
open to also accommodate some of the people that are coming in from around the area. They can still get home and
sure. Idea is Roswell is a mecca. We get people that come from 30, 40, 50, 100 miles away to come do activities here. So we'd like to give them some time to get home before midnight and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, by design.
Very good. Of course, if we're running short on time, but I want to get if anybody has any questions about anything we're talking about here, or wants to learn more about coming out to the meetings and being part of Celebrate Recovery. Just so happens you guys will be meeting tonight, right?
Tonight.
7 o'clock?
Nope, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Oh, I better.
Yeah,
let me change this.
Okay. Yeah,
Six. There we go.
And dinner's at 5.
So come for dinner if you're hungry.
Yep.
We're not hungry. Come on out anyway.
Absolutely.
You got some pretty good. What's have you guys decided tonight's menu yet?
Pozole.
Oh,
yeah, some homemade pozole.
It's the overnight low at 10 tonight. I think some pozole will hit the belly just right.
Night. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's perfect night for some pozole, which is my favorite of all the Mexican soups.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I like menudo. I'll eat menudo. I have no problem with menudo and things, but pozole's my one. See,
there you go.
Oh, I just remember green chili stew. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Dang. All right, I gotta work that out of my head. But what's the best phone number to call or best way to get a hold of you guys if folks have any questions about either the April 2nd event or more about the program in and of itself?
We have a website, roswellcr.com.
Okay.
And then of course the church phone number.
You can call us directly to the church, 575-623-5438.
Very good. And call the church there and just tell them I'd like to learn more about Celebrate Recovery.
They'll get it to the right people.
They'll get it to you guys and get that out there. And of course,
you bet.
Come on out tonight at 7 if you have questions and stuff. Come, I'm 6. I did 6 again.
O'clock.
Come out early at 5 for dinner, enjoy some pozole, and then get ready for fellowship at 6 p.m. And again, just come on out to Grace Community Church there on Mescalero. You can't miss it. And then you guys will be in the children's building tonight, starting at really 5 o'clock for dinner.
Yep.
So
that's right.
Very good.
All right.
Did we get it all for now?
I think so, Mike. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys, and I want to make a goal to not do it again. But now I feel like I don't know if I can do that because I just rope-a-dope myself. Maybe you just need to put it on there. I'm not my dad. It's the other one.
Yeah, I need to do that.
But thank you, gentlemen.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you again soon. All right.
Same. Thank you.
All right. Stay warm too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, pozole will help. It is 9:35. Let's pause for some news and a quick break, and then Molly Boyles with Main Street Roswell is going to join us. We're talking all about First Friday. Guess what? I know it kind of snuck up on us because of just the weather and the week it's been, but it's the First Friday tonight. So we're going to talk all about that and the fun and frivolity radio at Main Street here. So thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you next time. Quick break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County leaders are noting accomplishments in the first month of the new year, including new roof coatings for the administration building and a large chunk of the old jail area of the Eddy County Detention Center. The county also recently purchased several new pickups to replace old ones and resurfaced the parking lot at the Eddy County Health Office in Carlsbad and the Eddy County Extension Office. And the County Commission also recently approved the purchase of new AEDs, or automated external defibrillators. These new units will be on board fire trucks. Eddy County Commissioners approving new illegal dumping ordinance as well. That new ordinance comes with stricter enforcement measures, which include the possibility of jail time for those caught dumping trash illegally. The county reminding residents there are many trash disposal options available. Those include the Artesia Transfer Station, the Artesia Convenience Station, Sandpoint Landfill, the Carlsbad Convenience Station, and the Loving Transfer Station. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
And he's not going to stop Putin, and we're not going to go to war with Putin, nor should we go to war with Putin, over Ukraine. The only person I can think of that might have an opportunity to bring both sides together, Russia and Ukraine, might be Zero Experience Hunter. Because apparently he's on a first-name basis with all of them. But on the economy, our satisfaction is plunging. How could you be happy with any of this? 2022, American satisfaction with the state of the economy. 2020 was 68%. Now it's 33%. The speed at which they have literally destroyed the economy. What they've done at the border. The difference in leadership is astounding.
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
So in 2022, our friends at Blinds.com, they're now celebrating you. Save up to 35% off site-wide. It's happening right now. Custom window treatments. It's a minor home improvement that has a major impact. You get huge discounts on premium blinds, shades, shutters, and so much more. All backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. Just shop at Blinds.com right now. Save up to 35% off site-wide. That's Blinds.com. Go there right now. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Every 4 years, the world's greatest athletes compete for gold.
Team USA wins gold!
That time is now. The Winter Olympics are coming to NBC and Peacock.
Team USA would not be denied!
17 days of action, excitement, glory, and history in the making.
The United States wins gold!
Don't miss a single epic moment. The Winter Olympics continue tonight on NBC and Peacock.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Tough task for the Goddard Rockets today. Boys and girls teams are heading to Artesia for a district battle. The girls game starts at 5:30. Both teams are 1-1 in district play. Both teams having lost to Portales. Goddard is 11-8 overall. The Artesia girls are 10-11. The Goddard boys and the Artesia boys likewise have the same record in district, 2-0. So this is for the district lead. Goddard is 13-9 overall. Artesia's 12-9. That starts at 7. Meanwhile, the Roswell boys are on the road at Clovis. Roswell 6-16, 0-2 in district, but Clovis is 3-19. Chance for victory there. Roswell at home against Clovis. The Roswell girls still seeking their first victory, and Clovis is 14-7. That could be a little bit tougher. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Instead of the weak January employment report the experts had been looking for, America's employers actually added significantly to their payrolls last month.
U.S. job growth blew past expectations in January, brushing off a record-breaking surge in COVID-19 cases nationwide that loomed over the economy as it threatened to sideline millions of workers. The Labor Department said in its monthly payroll report that payrolls in January rose by 467,000, easily topping the 150,000 jobs gain forecast. The unemployment rate, which is calculated based on a separate survey, ticked up slightly to 4%.
Correspondent Bernie Bennett. Stocks opened mostly lower on Wall Street this morning, and bond yields are jumping after last month's surge of hiring led investors to speculate that the Fed will move quickly to hike interest rates in its ongoing effort to tame inflation. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
It's scary how often we hear those police sirens lately.
Oh, this is the new normal under Mayor Dennis Kintai.
I just don't feel safe these days around Roswell, and I'm worried about our kids.
I know. It's very concerning. Murders are up 140%, and robberies are up 142% in the last 4 years under Kintai.
What?
Yeah, and assaults are up 263%.
That's unbelievable. And I heard the other day that Roswell pays their officers a starting salary 10 grand less than Hobbs and Carlsbad. No wonder we're having trouble hiring.
We need to fire Mayor Kentai and elect Tim Jennings as mayor.
Yeah, Jennings has a plan to hire 10 more officers, and he'll make sure Roswell pays competitively to recruit and retain our police force.
I know Jennings is going to build a substation in the high crime area. That'll help.
Tim Jennings, he's got my vote.
Mine too, because I know he'll keep Roswell safe.
Paid for by Tim Jennings for mayor.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The average person spends 6 months of their lifetime waiting for a red light to turn green. Share this information with a police officer that pulls you over the next time you run a red light. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 42 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Main Street, Roswell, Molly Boyle's back with us.
Good morning.
Good morning, Molly. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and I'll tell you,
are you staying warm?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is as cold as it is out this morning, it actually felt warmer than yesterday morning because there was a breeze.
Yeah, this is true.
Today it's nice and still, so it actually felt warmer when I walked out of the house. I was like, okay, that's weird because the numbers.
Yeah. Well, and I can be honest, I'm hearing numbers like 40s and 50s, and I'm doing like, yes.
Right, exactly. We're like, oh, thank goodness.
Since we're speaking weather, as far as the Main Street businesses and things, everybody fare okay that you've heard of so far? No one, any major plumbing or electrical or weather-related issues?
Not that I've heard of yet.
Good.
All these buildings, some of these buildings are quite old.
They're seasoned.
But yes, they're seasoned. But each of the renters or property owners understand what has to be done prior. Make sure you leave water dripping.
They know
those
their
types
place
of things.
better than most, so they know.
Right.
They know the quirks and ticks just like better than anybody else.
Yes. So I would assume that we will not hear of any major damage or problems. Prayers.
And Main Street businesses, these mom and pop businesses, they do everything to provide their service, and the last thing I want to see any of them to do is extra hurdles like burst pipe or and have to shut down a day or something because pipes froze or
amen.
Heat went out or something like that.
Right.
So.
Well, it's funny when you say they do. You started the sentence with "they do everything," and I got to thinking to myself, what a lot of people don't realize is, as a small business owner, you do literally do it all yourself.
Yeah.
Guess what? You don't have a maid that comes in and cleans the bathroom.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You're either doing that yourself or your employees are having to do that.
Yeah,
it's not like some big business where they have a cleaning crew that comes in overnight and cleans while the business is closed.
The air conditioner don't maintain itself.
No, I'm not real steady on a ladder, and there was more than once that I thought I was going to biff it good trying to get.
Well, I've got to a point in my life. I know where I'm good at, and I know when to say, you know what? Let's get someone else who's a little bit more expert in doing that one. I'm kind of learning that sometimes the hard way, but I'm actually doing pretty good with that.
I am definitely past the point of feeling like I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof. I know I am not.
Yeah. It stinks getting older. Yes. But I know it's kind of snuck up on us with a busy week of a lot of stuff going on and weather and everything else. But the first Friday is tonight.
Yes. And I do know we have had a couple of businesses that have said they will be unable to participate, and we have had to cancel our music. We had planned to have music at Reichman Park. DJ Hendog was going to come out.
Sounds like it'd be a good time to visit insorted businesses tonight because it is going to be chilly.
Yes.
So indoor activities tonight.
We do have one of those propane heaters, but they were like, let's reschedule. So we won't have music outdoors at Reichman Park, but we will have many of our stores are going to be open tonight. And I'll tell you what, this is our favorite. Well, okay, I won't say favorite. This is one of the most well-loved First Fridays. It is Main Street Has a Heart.
Oh, yeah. This is where really the Main Street businesses get to kind of peacock the organizations that they love, and they... like, for instance, Tascosa for years has been a Humane Society supporter. Every time you go in there, if you make donations, they give you copies or stuff, services.
Right. Yes.
And they've been doing that for 100 years. But we have a lot of other Main Street businesses that have their passion projects, too. And this is their night to kind of spotlight all of those. So So if you're wanting to learn about what great nonprofits are in our community and maybe get involved with them, at the same time getting some sweet deals on merchandise and products and supporting these businesses, tonight's the night for all of them.
Absolutely. And so what this particular First Friday is, we ask each of the businesses to pick their favorite charity and to either collect monetary or merchandise type products for the charity, whatever they might be in need for. So I can tell you that Ancients of Days all year long collects monetary donations for FORA, which is one of course, one of our local rescues. And they have been collecting all year. They are, of course, pushing for it tonight for Main Street Has a Heart.
Good deal.
And we have also for FORA is the Roswell UFO Spacewalk.
Okay.
They are asking people to bring in dog collars, either the medium or large sizes, not the ones for the little bitties.
Not the foo-foo ones, but
not
the bigger.
the little bitty ones.
Yeah, okay. For your medium to large dogs.
Yes,
Very good.
that seems to be the largest
Probably like
need.
20, 30 and up, kind of basically.
Yeah, I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
So they are offering...
Pounds, by the way.
Yes.
When I said,
I was like, inches?
20, 30 pounds and up,
You
I'm
did
sorry.
worry me there for a moment because I thought you meant 20 to 30 inches. I was like, okay, a 30-inch collar is a really big
No,
dog.
I realized
Mike,
after I
but-
said 20, 30, so wait a minute, I didn't follow up with pounds. I
Yeah.
meant to do that, pounds.
Yes,
that
I
pound
would
dogs.
say 20 and up. You worried me because I thought, holy cow,
Sorry.
a 30-inch neck on a dog.
That's
That's a horse.
That's where my brain was working ahead of my mouth, and the mouth stopped working for a minute.
But over there at the Roswell UFO Spacewalk, they will offer you $1 off.
Okay.
The entry into, so they're the ones that have the black light experience. And
Yes.
if you've not been in there,
Pretty cool.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
And
By
of
the
course-
way, because they've got a lot of cool things in there, sometimes you feel like you're a giant. Like if you're walking in through the black light and you see some of the scenery
Yes.
type things.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like I'm like watching like Gulliver's Travels or something. And maybe that's just me that does that.
But one of the things that I know that they will do is there are certain parts that are more, well, I guess that's not fair to say. There are parts that could be frightening to young children. And when they know there are young children going through, they, shall we say, they turn it down so
Sure.
that the kids don't get
They
scared.
make it more kid friendly.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
makes sense.
So if you want to take the family, it absolutely is a fantastic family friendly.
And it's indoors, so good thing to do tonight in Main Street for First Friday. Yeah.
Absolutely. But something else I wanted to tell you about, and it's not specifically for First Friday, is that Jessica Burson Bradford has pulled together a Galentine's giveaway.
Okay.
She reached out to several businesses downtown, and what they're doing is they've got several giveaways. I believe the date is the 10th that they're doing the actual giveaway. But if you go on to any of these Facebook pages, the Brave Company, which is Jessica's,
Okay.
Main Street Roswell, Casa Bella Boutique, She's a Dandy, or the Gallery, you're going to find a post that talks about Galentine's. And what
Okay.
it's going to ask you to do is it's going to ask you to like and follow each of those pages.
Okay.
To like and share the post that you're looking at. And then if you tag friends, you'll get an extra entry for each of the friends you tag.
Oh, cool.
So I have not had a chance to get with them to find out exactly what the prizes are, but I
Okay.
do know that they are intended for the ladies. The
All right.
prizes are intended for the ladies.
Which guys
for
means-
Galentine's.
Which means, guys, if you get one, then now you got Valentine's covered. as
Yeah,
gifts.
absolutely.
Yeah,
You're
all right.
off the hook.
Yeah. You got something that was already put together that's thoughtful, considered, and makes you look like you know what you're doing.
Yes, and guess what? It will have been a woman that put it together, and that means she knows what she's doing.
I know
She's
exactly
got you
it.
covered. So I do encourage you to check out that post and share it to your friends and
Sure,
all of
spread the
that.
word.
Spread the word because, and I'm so happy that our businesses downtown really do work well together.
Yeah.
And I'm very impressed that Jessica took the initiative to reach out to these other businesses because honestly, I did not have the time to do so. She had already started it and said, oh, by the way, is it okay if I do this? I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking, you don't have to ask my permission. But I was so excited
Sure.
that we've got businesses that are
Yeah.
willing to reach out. And I know that Deanie over at Imagine That, she has done that multiple times.
Yeah.
And tonight she is collecting for the Wildlife Refuge.
Oh,
So
cool.
she, of course, is collecting monetary donations. And there's a long list of items that they are in need of for their animals.
Okay.
So if you just go on to Imagine That or to the Wildlife Refuge in Carlsbad, for there's a long list of items.
Okay.
And almost all of these are available just about anywhere.
Very good. And of course, if you're kind of like, I don't know what to do, monetary always works.
Money always
give them the
works.
money, and they'll give it to the people who know what to buy and let them buy it.
Yes, and I know that when you're talking about nonprofits, and this is across the board, folks, it's not just about the money or the items.
Mm-hmm. It's about the people.
It's your time too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have time that you can donate, and that's going to bring me into my next subject. If you have time to donate, that's very, very important to each of these organizations.
Absolutely.
There's always something that needs to be done. So
especially in the COVID world right now, because a lot of places, especially your nonprofits like that have a public, like a museum or something like that, like your Walker Aviations or the Historical Society place, they need volunteers to be like docents and things so they can be back. COVID really hampered these organizations on having the ability to have because a couple reasons. A lot of our volunteers are seniors.
Correct.
In our community.
Correct.
And let's face it, they're the most when we talk about the dangers of COVID, that's the group we're most concerned about. So the last thing we probably want some of those folks to do is being out and about in the public on a regular basis because of their limited, we don't want to get them exposed and things like that. So there's been less and less of people willing to volunteer there. So we need that back again. So if you want to, I know like just the Walker Aviation Museum, they're looking for people to serve on their boards, things like that. I know probably even Main Street's looking for volunteers to work downtown, to work various things. We're looking for those volunteers.
So you just opened it up. I'm sure that most people know that Main Street Roswell is working with several different organizations and schools here in town on the benches, the Bottle Caps to Benches program.
What's an amazing idea, amazing program. And quite frankly, that thing can't get big enough as far as I'm concerned because it's a win-win for every single person.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And Bianca Cheney was the one that brought it to us over at Southwest Printers. And we had a cap sorting this past Saturday. And even though we had a small number of volunteers, we sorted nearly 500 pounds.
Wow.
Nearly 500
That's a
pounds.
lot of caps.
That is a lot of caps. Let me tell you, it went very smooth. And part of that is the fact that education. We've been able to get out enough flyers and speak with different organizations around town to help them understand.
Drink things that have caps.
Yes. Well, in the beginning, we would get in a lot of caps that didn't, like people would include the metal pull tops.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, if you have metal pull tops, if you'll put those into a bag and go ahead and bring them to us, we do have an organization that's looking for those.
We found a use for those.
We have. But we would also find like pill bottles. We need the pill caps. The pill bottles we are unable to use.
Yeah, if I remember right, obviously soda bottle, water bottle caps, all those are great. Like your plastic, like your mayonnaise jar lids and those kind of things all work.
And your sour cream and your margarine, your cottage
the butter
cheese,
tub
the
lids
butter
and
tub, all of those, your ice cream lids, those types of things, as long as it's less than 8 inches in diameter.
Okay.
And to give you guys an idea, a piece of paper is 8.5 inches wide, a regular piece of paper. So if it is slightly smaller than your piece of paper, chances are it is less than 8 inches.
So no 5-gallon bucket lids.
Correct.
But your butter, I think most fall under that, under 8 inches.
Yes.
Unless there's like some Sam's Club sized tub of butter
and
somewhere.
There might be. We do have some corporate individuals or businesses that are collecting for us, including the Walgreens have been collecting.
So they might
lids.
be a little bit more bulky type thing.
Well, no, I'm just saying that we would love to put out a challenge to all the businesses.
Sure.
If you put just a small collection thing out for your employees. But I know we're about to run out of time. I just wanted to hit on, we're going to be cap sorting this Saturday and next Saturday. So the 5th and the 12th.
Okay.
And guys, it's that time of year where we're going to be taking down the lights.
It is that time.
It is. We take them down starting after.
But I'm a little like.
It's sad because it's so pretty.
It was like a week ago. I was driving down at night and the lights were still going. I'm like,
yes.
I know it's the end of January, but I still dig this.
So we try to leave them up through Valentine's Day because I know a lot of people like to go down and take pictures during this, for Valentine's.
All you want to do is walk up and down the streets with those lights.
Yes.
I feel like you're like in a movie. like you're just like with your spouse or significant other.
It's a Hallmark
and just
movie setting. It really is.
And you're just kind of strolling down the thing, and you look in a window. It's like, oh, let's get a cupcake or whatever it is, and you go in and do that.
Well, the thing is Jesse McDaniel and his crew will start taking down the tree lights sometime after the 14th.
Okay.
On the 19th, if anybody is available that morning, starting at 9 a.m., we need to take down the lights and the Santa hats from the pedestrian poles.
Okay.
And the pedestrian poles, guys, are those shorter ones that have the lights that have the alien eyes
the
on them.
alien heads
right.
on them, yeah.
So our volunteers and board members are the ones that put that together. We had a lot of help this year from the Boy Scouts and from several groups here in town. We would love to have you come out on the 19th. We'll see about trying to have some hot chocolate if it's cold.
Good deal.
Or something along
those lines. Well, it is
lines.
Roswell. It's hit or miss whether it's going to be cold or not.
I know. You literally never know.
Is it going to be freezing or 80? I'm not sure which.
And I would love to be able to come back on because we're trying to schedule a fundraiser. So I would love to be able to come back on.
We'll get you on anytime we need you.
But I also wanted to take the time just personally to thank you guys for hosting that candidate forum online and having it available for people to go back and watch, because there were a lot of people that were unable to make the actual
and let's
forum.
face it, that's a 3-hour plus event. That's a lot of sitting time in there.
It is.
and a lot of take in, and sometimes it's easy to miss that.
Yes.
So I highly recommend, even if you went to the event and watched every second of it, go back, and particularly the wards that you get to vote in and the mayoral race, you should definitely go back and watch those.
Yes.
And like I said, all wards with the exception of Ward 5 has a contested race right now. And even for folks in Ward 5, the incumbent, Angela Moore, spoke for a couple minutes on this.
Yes.
So you get to hear her thoughts and things, too, even though you technically don't have a vote in that election.
Right.
But you get to hear what your representative thinks, and if you've got questions and things, you can reach out to them. But
Absolutely.
But yeah, other than that, we
Absolutely.
had all but two candidates made it. We had one of the mayoral candidates, and they were both due to cold sickness.
Right.
So
right.
And then one of the Ward 4 candidates could make it as well. But
Right.
all the other candidates are there, and you get to hear them and check out. But thank you for saying that. 'Cause
Absolutely. Leadership Roswell does a great job putting that together. So these are things that are very important to our community.
Yeah.
So it's appreciated by many, and you very seldom get the thanks that you deserve.
And as far as I'm concerned, I don't like at the end, and I've said this 100 times, I don't care who you vote for.
Right.
You vote for who you think's best.
Please get out and vote.
But understand. Like why you vote, have a reason for voting for somebody.
Yes.
That's other than I like their signs or whatever that.
Right.
You know, I want to hear like, well, this person's for this, I'm for that. That's why I'm voting for him.
Right.
Then I'm like, I'm good with it. Then God bless you, you're doing your civic duty there. But anything other than that, I have a problem.
It makes me very sad to know that our municipal elections are the ones that are the least attended or least participated in.
And at the end of the day, most important.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. This is your town, guys. This is,
Y'all grumble about what the president's doing or not doing. Guess what? The people that are serving on city council, they have a much greater impact
on your everyday.
On your day-to-day life.
Yes.
Your county commissioners, your city council, your mayors. These are all the folks that really have the greatest impact. So,
And kudos to each of them running. I would not. I could not.
A tip of the cap to all the candidates. They did a great job especially for, most of them aren't 9-to-5 professional. They got day jobs. They're not politicians per se.
Right.
They're just concerned